I want to say it was called Nick. Recording stopped. Okay.
No, I just have the cloud recording.
This meeting is being live streamed.
We are live. Welcome
We are
to
live
the
in
show.
it's your show.
Yeah, Nick's lingerie or something like that. And she goes, "It's sex lipstick, Dad." I mean, she's 16. I'm like, I didn't know there was such a thing.
It's
Damn,
sex lipstick.
48 didn't know there was sex lipstick.
Good. I don't feel
What
so
have I
bad.
been
I'm
missing?
48.
What have
I
I
didn't
been
know there
missing?
was either, but you know.
What have I missed? What the hell? Tell her to send me
Welcome
the
to
link.
welcome to the lower 48.
Adults don't know anything, and their children teach them. All right, Mr.
You know,
Adams,
with a bunch of us the same age,
Mhm.
the lower 48 could work.
We're a 48, yeah.
Could work. A bunch of middle-aged people who still think that they're teenagers.
Oh, you have to read my Facebook post tonight. You pretty much just summed up. I don't know if you've seen my Can I Write?
Yes, I've seen those.
I'm on number 3. I wrote number 3 tonight.
Oh, right on. I'll definitely check it out.
Pretty much titled "Being Old When You're Not Old."
Sucks.
Yeah.
Somebody who was like
You feel
20, he's like 20, 21. He goes, God, I wish I still acted like and felt like I was like in high school. And that's horrible. And dude, I'm 48 and I wish I acted and felt like I was in high school. There is no shame in that.
Yeah, no, like high school is improving my behavior.
Yeah.
I'm still acting like middle school.
I hear stories. I hear stories from both directions because my girlfriend works in the school district. So I hear horror stories.
And your ex-girlfriend goes to school there?
What my daughter does. And like even because Monday was first day of school. And one of the kids went into the bathroom and lit up a cigarette.
Nice.
And then because it's the type of school it is, you're not allowed to go anymore.
He's not allowed to go anymore?
Or that person, whoever it was, got
Oh.
it wrong. I don't know. So
I thought that the woke would not give anybody a hard time for anything.
Right.
I thought you could slash and burn, you could like murder somebody as long as they're not in your class.
well,
You know,
not at her school.
That's good.
School's got
That's good. Because you know what? It's not all about your feelings, I promise. Your feelings don't matter. They really don't.
good job, Snowflake.
Right. Yeah. I repeat that so often with my children, especially my youngest. I'm like, oh, well, I was hoping that, I was hoping that they would do this, or I was hoping my friend would call me first. I'm like, who manufactured all this shit in your head about like what's right or what's fair or like what hope is or like, because it's not me. I've never told you anything except for reality, which is we're all selfish. We think of ourselves first and foremost.
How old is your youngest?
15.
Oh, okay. See, that sounds perfect because mine just turned 16.
Yeah. And I'm like, I said, you have this order of events that you think how everything is supposed to unfold in your life. And then if people don't hit their marks, then you're disappointed and you fall apart. And then you wonder why they don't want to be around you. I
feel like, and I'm sure that you can probably vouch for this, that we all start out narcissistic. And it's whether or not we can grow out of it or not is the big challenge. Because I'm sure, you knew me as a young boy and teenager, and and I was not that pleasant, I'm sure.
Oh, you had your view of the universe, and
I had my moments.
Sometimes people got kicked out of your universe for a while, and you weren't allowed to step on your view of the universe, and that was okay. I appreciated that you had a fucking point of view and you're consistent.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Thank you very much. That's very nice to hear.
It's
But,
true though. True.
you know, you and I got along only because we saw eye to eye on things. So it was different for us.
It's the mix between being the extrovert,
Introvert, extrovert concept.
yeah, like I'm the person who's willing to offend because at all costs, as long as it's true. And then I'm also a peacekeeper. So I'll swing, and then when I accidentally clip you, I'm like, oh, all right, let me back up a little bit. All right. Didn't mean to actually punch you in the face there. I'm sorry.
Oops.
So it's a balance. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking about now, Matthew.
I was an asshole, right? That's
You
what
were
you're-
I don't know, asshole. Maybe a challenge. Maybe
Ooh, I think I'd rather be an asshole
No,
than a challenge.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
You had different sensitivities, I think. I think part of it being philosophical, and you're very philosophical. And part of you being willing to embrace the esoteric and unusual things in life, and just assume that if somebody feels like something has been real, then it could be, and let's not discard of it. You're always curious. You always like the idea of something beyond us and something around us at the same time, which was really interesting. And like being friends with you growing up was like seeing the world from 5 layers that nobody else saw it. And I like that because
It sounds like a compliment. So
I'm curious. No, yeah, because I don't. I've seen too many things to live from a perspective of disbelief just for the sake of disbelief.
Right.
And there. So like, if it's possible, it's possible. I mean, if you can will things to happen. You can. The Force is not just something that was in a movie. I remember thinking that when I was a kid.
That's
like,
right.
how can you control things? If you can, if you can imagine it, then you can make it real. And you taught me that it's how much energy do you want to manifest towards it in order to make it happen, because it might take you more than you have, or it might take you longer than you have on this fucking plane to do it, but you can't say that it's not possible just because you don't have the time and energy to do it.
Wow. You know what? I think I'm going to take this whole recording and write all that down, because thank you. That's
that was 100%. That was right. Yeah. I'm literally picturing us hanging out in your bedroom, and then like in the office, or it was like the office extra room where the computer was, and like just having these philosophical conversations all the time. Be like, can you see the blue and red particles floating around in the dark? Be like, yeah, I think that's from the cones in our eyes, my dad said. And you're like, how do you know that? How could we both see the same thing if it was something in your eye? I'd be like, oh. You remember, because when you're young, before we damage our eyes with all sorts of every kind of exposure, and hypertension and all those things, when you have young fresh eyes, when your eyes would adjust going from sunlight into the dark, we would see like blue and red, like little lights in the peripheral. And it's actually, according to my father, scientifically, it's the blood vessels that are releasing, that are basically letting your iris open back up. Now we would see it as little floaties in the air, but they weren't really there. Do you guys recall having those experiences where you can actually?
Well, it's very interesting that you say this, because I recently had a conversation with somebody, because I'm kind of like fact checking things now with, like when I would lay in bed, I just thought that everybody saw squares of light traveling across the top of their room.
Right.
Like, my house was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
In many ways, and I didn't realize it was weird, because that's just where I grew up.
Right.
But I checked with this person. I said, hey, so like, just when you close your eyes, because like if I close my eyes right now, I see colors. I see things going on. And I asked this person, I said, do you see that? And I go, no, I see blackness. And I thought that was really bizarre. I was like, wow, really? But why? Why
Right.
do you see? Because and I can totally go with what your dad's saying, like, hey, there's light particles and you get these things, and because I'll watch shapes and all kinds of weird things going on.
Yeah.
And I haven't done nearly enough drugs to make that happen. So,
I have.
I know you have. So you have an excuse. I don't. How about you?
I don't remember the like red and blue, but even today, so I researched, so extra protein. I get little squigglies that call my little friends. They float all around in my vision. I don't know why I keep blurring out. So usually when my blood pressure goes up, it's usually my cue. Blood pressure's up.
That's
time to
the
settle down.
constriction in your eyes, right?
Yeah. So
That's
I get
what we're
those
talking
quite a lot. But I do like you, Matthew, when I close my eyes, and not just right now when I've got the bright light on me, but at all times, I always see stuff still. I don't ever go like black. I mean, eventually I will if I keep them closed, but for quite a while, if I just lay down like in my room, even if it's dark or whatever, and I close my eyes, I always see stuff. I know I see lights, I see shapes. It's never just dark unless like I finally go to sleep.
So
I actually have in my shower. I haven't done it in a while, but the tile in my shower, as I sit there, if I stare at it correctly, everybody just left. What's going on? Oh, sound.
You're sharing a screen.
Share a screen.
And I've told my daughter about this, and my closet kind of freaks her out. She doesn't like the area. She kind of picks up on it, but there is an obvious wormhole in my shower. And sometimes it's just like branches and trees, and sometimes people walk by, and I don't talk to anybody about this normally, but because then they think you're crazy, So
Or they find out the truth.
So now I'm doing it online. So there you go.
Right. No,
Fantastic. Welcome to my world. But I've given up on, worrying about things like that. But yeah, I can just stare at the tile and it just kind of opens up. And I never know what I'm going to see. I never see anything bad. Like I said, a lot of times it's just like trees and bushes and things, and maybe people in a park or something. I'm always kind of like, what am I looking at here?
Wow.
And it makes me take a really long shower because I'm kind of like, well, I kind of want to figure out what this is, but I have no answers. So
if you think about the things that you witness as a child when you don't have an explanation for it, and you don't have any reason to disbelieve what it is that you experience.
Yeah, and you and I have a lot of experience with that.
As you get older, you start to build up defense mechanisms because your brain starts to tell you that this does not serve you.
You rationalize it. Yeah.
You're in these situations, having this sight does not serve you when you realize at sixth grade camp, 12 people are making fun of you for what you just said. And, so you start to adjust what you see. And it's not that it's not there. It's that we forget what that memory feels like. So it's harder to conjure it up. So there has to be something to trigger it to remember. And Matthew, the fascinating thing about you is you didn't give a shit. And as an only child, on top of that, you were stubborn and strong-willed, and you give two fucks about how somebody felt about how you perceive things. And so you kept it. And then I had siblings to let me know that I was immature, or I was crazy, or whatever. I had different influences. you close your eyes and you still see the pathways and the lights because you never forgot it and you didn't have a reason to do it. And that's impressive.
No, you have no idea how relevant everything you're telling me right now is, especially after what I just wrote. Because it was really about, my whole writing was just about the fact that I'm kind of dealing with the fact that I need to grow up. I can't, and I've been dreading growing up my whole life.
Yeah, it's overrated.
And I'm really good at being young. I'm just not so great at being old. And so, even though I'm not old yet, I'm kind of going, well, you know,
with that shirt, that hat, and that white beard, you look like you're 70 with that get up on right now.
There you go.
It's a look. I'll give you that.
Come on, man. You know this is Hunter Thompson all day, all night.
Dude, I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's a perfect look.
Hey, this is bat country.
We're
fear and
those
loathing.
Goddamn bats.
We're fear and loathing in Adam's country.
Oh, too funny. Yeah, no, it's just funny. I want to get a clip of you looking it's like a senior citizen and that get up going, I'm afraid to grow up. It's a fucking bumper sticker right there. Hey, don't start now. Don't start now. You're gonna ruin it. It's like people who my grandpa's been smoking since he was 9 and he's 102. Doctor says if he quits now, it's gonna kill him. You know? And you're like, no, you made it. 28.2. That's the average years you can smoke before you get lung cancer. You've been at it for 65 years. You just keep on it. You know, like there's no sense in changing gears or changing lanes now, man. Stay in your lane. Be happy with it.
So, hey, can we put a little plug out there real quick? I don't know if you saw. And as I ask the question, don't even let you answer it because that's what I do. I don't know if you saw on Friday, I went to the Van Gogh Interactive.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and such a simple concept, but really cool. And you know, I'm a big Van Gogh fan right off the bat. So sitting there, but I couldn't even believe, like, it's the way that everything kind of interacts and changes, and then it goes with the music. And like right away, my daughter, she's like, this is Tom York. Like they're playing Tom York while they're doing Van Gogh. So
that's cool.
Need an introduction here?
I like that. Who's this? Let me in. It's a the transatlantic,
is that is that Jerry Garcia on with the bucket hat?
Little Jerry, a little
fucking Thompson. Let yourself go completely, huh? Is there just nothing going on anymore?
I got nobody to impress, man.
Dude, if you wear a Hawaiian shirt, I heard that means you just have given up, because that's what
up on life. Unless it's specifically Magnum PI, then homage.
But it can be Hunter Thompson. It goes either way.
Little Hunter, yeah, that's acceptable too.
Yeah, but don't worry, I'm still wearing Dickie shorts.
You have to wear it ironically. That's the trick.
That's right. It's all ironic.
Ironic. Hunter,
erotic or Iran?
Yeah, erotic. Yeah, if you wear it erotically, then that's what.
Moronic.
Good evening. Moronic. No, that's
nipple holes on it, and that's fine.
Good evening, children. How are we?
Hunter said I'm not allowed to use old vines or old memes. So like saying yeet, bruh, on fleek, he needs some milk, any of those. He's just like, Father, no. And then one day.
What about Broham?
About what?
Broham,
right. Exactly. All those fall into mid 2000 memes and vines. Not acceptable, Father. It is not funny. Until one day he announces, Father, it is now acceptable to use old dead vines and memes ironically. And I said, well, what are the rules for it to be ironic? He goes, well, after 18 months, then you can cycle it back in and then bring that meme back up.
That's too fucking complicated, dude.
Anyways,
18 months. That's the
hey,
golden number, huh?
you're dealing with a culture of Gen Z culture. They make up their own rules for that because they have nothing.
Gen Z? Is that an
Yeah.
actual term?
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid's Gen Z too.
Yeah.
Jack is Gen Z. Yeah. Hey, did you know who I hung out with last night?
Hold on. Where are you?
You?
Right now, currently, I'm in Port Lavaca, Texas. Last night, I will help you out with this. I was in Houston, Texas.
Port Lavaca.
Janine.
I live here and I don't even know where
I don't know who Janine is, but okay. No.
Mark.
You hung out with Dave Grohl.
I
Is
did
that
hang
Mark?
out with Mark last night. I did.
Yeah.
We went to a dive bar, had a couple of fucking Coors Lights and some whiskey. So it was very cool to see him. I think out of guilt because he bailed on me on New Orleans.
Right.
And I kept making fun. Dude, his Camaro's fucking hot. Oh my God, what a fucking car. Anyway.
Yeah.
But we went out for a couple drinks. It was very, very cool. He drove like 50 minutes from his life and come and hang out with me a little bit. So Port Lavaca, you ignorant fucking Austin bitch, is about 40 minutes north of Corpus Christi. Yeah, I know he's not in Austin. I just like
New Braunfels. New Braunfels.
German baby. All day, all night.
Are you lighting your cigar with $100 bill, motherfucker?
Probably.
Speaking of cigars, if he was going to join me in New Orleans, somebody gave me a couple of Macadunos and
Macanudo Portofinos.
Yeah, I was all set, but he didn't show up, and I didn't think that was worthy enough to break that out last night. So
yeah, Jeffrey gave those. We were supposed to smoke those, and
don't worry,
I totally
we'll still smoke them because I got to go to California, I think, in November. So we'll smoke them in November.
There were two Macanudos.
Tucson in October.
Yeah, I like your I like your little porno mustache thing you got going on there.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. It's going bye-bye.
Are you dyeing the top and not the bottom?
No.
Oh, it looks good. It looks good. Keep that mustache. What's wrong with you?
I fucking hate it. It's driving me.
Listen, do it. The mustache is coming back. I'm seeing it in all the movies. That's what they're doing. I mean, I'm listening. I'm bringing everything back in, but
I will show you how to train your mustache and give you the best mustache you've ever had. I didn't learn it until 2 years ago. I had no idea how people can grow these glorious mustaches and just not always have it shaved.
Yeah, you used to have the handlebar thing, right?
Handlebar, I've done it.
Boy,
I never did because my mustache growth would always irritate me. So I'd always get to a point where it would get like too long coming over my lip. You know, it started to get pokey down here. And there was really nothing going this way ever. But it would always grow down. So I'm always like trying to get it above my lip, you know. And it was never bushy. It was never enough mustache to be to be what's the right word? To be a good mustache. Like it was just like hair. It was just there. Now I can grow a goatee, a beard, whatever, fine. But the mustache, I didn't understand what the fuck to do with it because I would always be fucking with it. Trim it, shave it, fucking whatever, start over fresh. And I always have that fucking Amish look forever. Until Jason Danitel, who had the glorious fucking mustache out to here. I'm like, how the fuck, how do you do that? My hair doesn't grow that way. And he goes, well, yeah, of course not. You have to tell it to grow that way. Nice. So I'm like, what do you mean you have to tell it to grow that way? He goes, it's very simple. I'm glad you asked because nobody ever asks. He's all, as the hair starts growing down here in the corner of your mouth, it's always going to continue to go down this way. Here's what you do. You take a little chunk of hair here, you take a razor and you just shave the corner of your mouth. And then go on this side and you break it free a little bit. Shave that piece.
You have to make that noise or is it optional?
And He's like, that's it. That breaks it free. So now your mustache will continue to grow this way, and you can grow it as long as you want or as short as you want. It doesn't have to be a substantial, but it'll allow it to fill in and blend.
I don't want to do any of that. I just want to shave it off.
Why?
But it looks so good.
Yeah, but it's annoying me. And so
What's annoying about it?
just to have it underneath my nose, plus these fucking white hairs right here are driving me crazy.
You're 48 years old and you have
I am 27. How dare you, sir?
more brown hair in your mustache than white hair. That's impressive.
Yeah, but I think that's the other issue because look how fucking gray the bottom is. Oh, and in the light, that just makes it even fucking worse.
So there, they have the it's not just for men. You don't want to do dye, but the gradual shampoo that blends the gray. It'll darken it up a little bit. Or unless you're me.
Before I shave it all, I'm gonna fucking dye it. Absolutely.
Unless you're me, and then you leave it on for 15 minutes when you're supposed to leave it on for 2, and then it'll turn dark. It turns black anyways.
So what's going on with Jerry Garcia over there? Jesus Christ, dude! Did you decide just fuck it?
He dressed up for the show.
Oh, is that what he did? I didn't know
Entertainment.
we were supposed to dress up. We're supposed to dress up.
Oh, I like to dress.
Why are
up.
you wearing that pink hat? You're not wearing it ironically?
Not really pink. It's just the white. Don't make me hang up on you because
It's not pink. It's just how your eyes perceive it.
Too much booze. Not enough beer. Too much booze.
You had too much booze?
Yeah, like honey Jim Beam with ginger ale.
Oh, that's heartburn.
Apple.
No, heartburn.
Apple Jack with ginger ale.
Too much heartburn.
Cheetos with ginger ale. I don't know. There's a lot of ginger ale apparently, but a lot of pints before that. Yeah, no, it's.
Oh,
yeah.
Hair of the dog.
there you go, buddy. You like that?
I fucking kind of do. You fucking douche.
I wear
kinda
this
like it.
so that I give you material to make fun of me. That's why.
Is that material or material? What did you just fucking say? I'm a little turned on, right? All right, not that part.
I'm
But-
kind of wanting to leave.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. I have potential to be bitch tonight. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Oh
Well,
no, I would really rather. I would rather hear the bitch part.
Dude,
No,
was that a
I'm trying
dog that
not
just
to.
walked past you, Matt? Matt, in the background, was that a dog?
Yes,
Oh, okay,
it was a raccoon. It's trash bandit.
sweet. Seen a lot
Yeah.
of dead armadillos on this trip.
armadillo chili is
It's,
supposed to be
it's a
really
good
good.
sign.
Well, it's the only thing that carries leprosy still on this planet. So
Oh, I would have got some leprosy just for fun.
yeah, I've seen. I saw my first dead wild hog on the road today.
Wild hog.
Some trash pandas, a skunk or two. Skunk was so bad that I tasted it as it drove as
yeah.
I drove by. I was like,
Oh, that's the best.
I'm like,
That
that
was
is
fresh.
really bad weed. Oh, bad weed, bad weed.
That's like Heineken.
Oregon, that was common.
But
I actually like Heineken, but when they came
I
out
had
with
a
that can-
Corona tonight.
when they came
Has
out with
anybody
that-
had a Corona recently?
Yeah, in the last couple months. Sorry, Matthew.
Jeffrey.
Oh, so skunky. Oh, so skunky. Oh, didn't like it at all.
That's what my mom drinks. She puts lime juice in
I like that hopadillo
the virus.
from that is probably my favorite Texas beer. Had a bunch of those tonight, and then sat on the bay. It was very interesting. Dude's got a great big piece of land on the fucking Gulf, not the bay. Sorry, on the Gulf, and got eaten alive by fucking mosquitoes. So that was different. Now, what are we doing here?
Matthew, what were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing.
Did I interrupt Matthew? I apologize, Matthew,
No, it's all right.
because I only say shit to be a dick if it's on purpose, never on accident. So I apologize if it was interrupted. I
Wait a
got like
second.
48 text messages from Mama Fox. Are you coming on? Are you coming on?
One.
Oh, I just read it
One.
like 48 times.
Well,
You coming
that's
on?
not my fault.
It's all your fault.
It's not my fault. No.
Notice I always do have the candy though.
Chill video.
I like the image. The music is gay.
Dawn inspired. That hasn't even premiered yet. What the hell?
It's made in China. I can't watch this anymore. They staples.
What the fuck?
Do not adjust your television screen. It's time for me to take your soul. Bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
The sound you hear is burning flesh. If you're too close to an open flame, please leave the building.
Yeah. Oh. God. Fun trip to get. I did a lot.
Actually, Jeff, you're on YouTube, right?
Oh, I think I should do some drugs now.
I'm running away from.
This reminds me of that video from Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was
That's
trying to think
right.
who. Yeah.
We had the top hat back when he was doing the top hat thing.
Yeah, it was the like the Alice and
Alice,
in Wonderland thing. What the fuck is the name of that?
Yeah, I remember that when he cuts into the cake, which is her. That just
Right.
Last Dance with, was it
Yeah,
Last
I was
Dance with
like,
Mary
No, it's
Jane?
not.
Ew.
It's not
No,
Mary
no?
Jane.
Kiss her. Kiss her. Kiss her. Are they getting closer? Or I can't tell.
It's the optical illusion.
It looks like they're getting closer, but they're really
Right,
not.
that's the idea.
I just remember when they cut into her like it's cake, she screams.
She just turned her
I
head
know,
right.
and it was gross
Yeah.
because it was
Oh.
like jelly inside.
Keeps popping in my
Jeff,
head.
when you're done with this,
Don't come around here no more.
Yeah.
That's
that
the
was
song.
it. Yeah.
or can you YouTube?
That's a
I
spine.
just want to see what would come up. And
I'm sorry that I said that. Now I'm scared of her.
girl freaks me out.
Come around
It's
here
gonna
no
get you.
more. Ooh, I like when she blinked the bell rang at the same time that she blinked.
This is not relaxing or meditative at all.
It's me.
Speak for yourself.
Wanna
It's helping me
contemplate
choose my next
immortality.
victims.
Jeff?
It'll be the slowest, steadiest you've ever seen in your life.
Are they ready?
Sugar skull action. Nice. Oh my god, I love that character that he just put up in front of us. It's the most underrated show ever. Aqua Teen. That's the Buddy Christ right there, buddy. Like at the end of Rogue One.
See now.
Sneak peek. I don't know.
Okay, I could never watch that again and be okay.
Yeah, but you don't. That's not going to do anything. You're not okay as it is, dude.
Where did Mama Fox go? What happened?
I think
I don't
you
know.
lost
Her
her
picture's
because
there.
of that.
She couldn't handle the darkness.
I had to go pee. Sorry.
You think that was dark? I didn't think it was really
Well, I don't
dark.
even
No,
turn
it
on
was
the
just
light.
too much
I just
water
walk
noise in the
over.
background.
Oh,
So for my
Second
own
thing.
personal ego, what I was asking is, since you're on YouTube, can you just type in my name? And I want to see what you get, because what I get and what you get will be two different things.
yeah.
So Matthew Dixon, Guitar Monk, and just
Oh,
see
I
what
thought maybe
comes up.
you were gonna hope that we got your porn site, but okay.
Okay. No, that's not me. Pretty sure.
So is that like an alien head on a bear head?
No. This is where we clap, right?
I don't want to relive this.
Are you clapping? That was weird.
Anyway, I made that just for fun. I don't know.
You made that?
Well, you made
You
that?
made it?
Yeah.
Where'd you get the music?
Pixabay.
Yeah, too much
I
water.
don't even know what that is.
There's Pexels and Pixabay. They're you can get what is it? Creative Commons, open license for a lot of stuff. I actually got a copyright hit on my actual relaxing ones. But I've been such a grown up that I have the license, and I posted it like 2 days ago.
Well,
And
I feel bad for making fun of the video. I mean, but where'd you get the video from?
either I think Pexels, I think, and then
Are you saying Exels?
Pexels, Pexels.
Oh, Pexels.
Yeah, there's a ton. There's like 2.5 million files of video,
The
pictures.
chick
Is
reminded
there
me of the
a
chick
monthly
from
charge for that, or is it
One
free?
Tree Hill.
No. It's free as long as you join. It doesn't cost you anything to join. One of them asks if you upload some video, if you upload like your own photographs, and if
A
you make
share
them public use.
server.
Yeah, if you make like 8 pictures public use, and they're like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, download the license to go with it. But yeah, all this stuff is all free.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that regard, it's, I withdraw my statements about the guy with the rose and all that stuff. I mean, it was fitting. I just,
Yeah.
I wanted to make fun of it.
Are you
hadn't-
fucking
I hadn't-
backtracking because he made the video, you pussy? Really?
I hadn't done any I hadn't done
Yes,
just
he is.
live action. So the rest of the channel is going to be made up.
Does that say 2 hours long?
3 hours.
How long?
Can't hear you, but so you made this?
3 hours.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And you pulled your video.
Can you make one with thunderstorms, please?
What's that?
Can you make one with thunderstorms?
Yeah.
Because I would go to sleep with that at night all the
Yeah,
time.
totally.
Huh.
So I just started the page, or started this channel, and it's not a shelf help anything. It's just its own entity. So I'm starting with following the algorithm and release things on a semi-regular basis. Some that are long, like these guys. Midnight meditation. This is my dashboard. It's not necessarily what you see from the front.
That's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This was supposed to be 6, but I didn't do it. And then, yeah, here's another one. This one's all water based, all the scenes.
Well, come on, Jeff. I mean, we need to work together here, buddy.
Yeah, well, I just kind of honed my skills recently. That's why I wanted to do the live action one. There's clips.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of curious if I could make a story out of nothing. I mean, already it was just a story just visually.
Can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I wanted to see if I can make a story or a narrative without words. I didn't focus as much on the music. I did a little bit. Some of the transition scenes and whatnot seem to turn out pretty okay.
Well, I know this guy who does music, so
Yeah.
maybe I can get you hooked up with him. I don't know.
Hey, whatever you do, don't tell him you're going to be in Austin though, because he won't fucking show up. Just saying.
So Matthew, I know what you mean. I would
Man.
Collaborate because I can put the audio visual stuff together quite easily.
Yeah, you obviously have that skill. I struggle with it, and if you pull up my videos, you'll see that I struggle with it greatly because it's not my forte.
Right.
But,
Yeah, let's put our heads together, and I'm happy to support some content for you. Get it out there.
I'm gonna hope to see that.
I mean it. I've done 3 or 4. I like the water themes. I think I interspersed some people like cliff diving, which I thought was funny. I'm like, that's not relaxing. You make me nervous. Why the fuck did I put that in there? What is it?
Oh, I want to go there.
Oh, shit.
Nope, no swim up bar. Not interested.
Wow, look at that pool. That's cool.
What happened? Here we go. Anyway, let's check.
To be honest, I mean, I like this a lot more than the first thing that you played with the skull and with the rose and stuff like that. But you gotta find
Is
your.
that the Cliffs of Dozier or something? Am I saying that wrong?
Cliffs of Dover.
Yes,
Dover.
You are saying it wrong.
Fuck you and
Dover.
your weird hat.
I'm not wearing
The first video you did, I watch a lot of videos like that, but the music's really dark on those types of images. So I like Celtic dark. That's what I turn on if I don't have Alexa on. Shut up. If I don't have her on listening to actual like songs, if I just want music, I do a lot of like Gothic, Celtic, or Celtic, like dark, and a lot of the imagery is like what you showed. So I was thrown off the whole time with the imagery and the softer touch of music, but that's just because what I'm used to.
So you want some heavier, dark shit?
That's what I listen to. Lots of bass and stuff, in the underneath it stuff.
Yeah.
Like things like that.
I was going for like ambient, ethereal. A little chant back there? I heard a little chant. Oh, do I ever get up in the sky? I thought I was doing maybe I took it out of this one. Oh yeah, some moon. I saw the moon. I was doing like moon phases. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Whoa. Hey, I just got monetized. Oh. Fuck you. It skipped me. So yeah, anyway, we put together whatever. It's pretty wild the amount of video and just everything that people will have up with the Creative Commons licenses open for commercial use.
Yeah, I've had a hard time finding free video. I mean, other than, like I have Canva, but
Yeah,
everything's like 30 seconds long and I'm paying
use
for it. So,
use
but
Canva.
hey, if you can,
This is Pexels. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pull yours up.
no, I just, and you don't have to play them. I'm just kind of wondering what comes up if somebody writes it in.
Yeah, we'll do it. This is Pexels. This is the site that I told you about, where I get the video from. So
Okay.
you can go in and I don't know. Why was I looking up fruit juice? I don't
Grab
know.
what you want and then you put it together. And
Yeah, I look for things that are at least a minute long, preferably. Sometimes you can find 90-second, 2 minutes maybe.
then of course you can slow them down if you want to within.
Yeah, then yeah, exactly. When I put it into OpenShot or hit film, there's the two that I'll use. Under OpenShot, then you could say how long you want the scene to stretch for. You could say, it's a 60-second, and then maybe you'll put it out for 3 minutes.
I use DaVinci.
Yep, DaVinci's good too.
Yeah, and it's free. So I mean,
Yeah. So the other ones too are too. OpenShot's pretty easy to use, as well as hit film. It's like you put your audio track on the bottom, your video track is number 2, and then if you want overlays, then you drop it on 3. And if you want something to dominate 3 as to fade in and out, put it on 4. So it kind of gives a hierarchy of what's going to prioritize and show up on the film once you render it, which is kind of cool. So you don't have to.
That's pretty much how DaVinci works, except every time I get in there, I can't remember how anything works anymore. So when I want to do really basic things like, I'll use like the mantra text that I'll want to come up in the video. It takes me forever to figure out how to do it. I have to go out and, go to YouTube basically and say, how do I do this again? And then it teaches me. But I think we're probably getting way off course and lost our audience and
That's all right.
Our fellow people are probably bored.
We're always off course and lose everybody. It's okay.
Look at that beautiful trash.
Nothing new.
How come I can only see myself?
Change your view to gallery view instead of
shit.
Upper right hand corner. Whoa, look at that. That's pretty dope looking.
Upper right hand corner. Oh, okay. View. Side by side gallery. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Hey, you're all there. All right.
I was going to do a transportation theme. I put together a transportation theme one. That would be too rapid. That's not relaxing at all. But everything was like everything was kind of like bird's eye view for the most part of cars driving along really long like desert roads and through mountains and through the rain.
That's cool.
Very
another little plug. A week ago, I went and saw Bullet Train, that new Brad Pitt movie.
Oh yeah. I saw
I really liked that movie, man. That movie was great. It's probably the best movie I've seen in a while. It was like, the way I would describe it is if Quentin Tarantino wrote a really good comedy.
Oh, right on.
Because it's really violent. So there's people that I know, like my parents and stuff, will never see it because of the violence.
What's the name of the movie?
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
Oh, that's the new one with Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You said it was really good? I
really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought I guess it's based on a book, and it just it's kind of about karma and the way they kept bringing things back around again, I was really impressed with the writing. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then it was just super funny. So I kind of like that with my comedies. So
I like comedy and violence.
Yeah.
And porn.
That's what it is. It's comedy and violence.
What's the one with, is it Clive Owen and Paul Giamatti? Is it Shoot 'em Up?
I don't know.
Let me look it up. Paul Giamatti and Clive.
I think it's Clive Owens is the guy.
Cinderella Man? One movie. Shoot 'em up. Yep, that's right.
You got to check that out if you haven't seen it. It's that combination of violence and comedy that you were just discussing.
2000.
It's pretty righteous. And Paul Giamatti, everything he's
Oh
in is
yeah,
fucking
he's
awesome.
awesome. And you know what? I would have missed that because my daughter was born in 2006. So you know how it is when you have your kid and you like miss a few years of movies. you're too wrapped up in trying to catch sleep any possible moment you can.
Eminem's movie came out at the same time Hunter was born. What was that?
8 Mile?
8 Mile. So we actually, I had my mother-in-law watch him for 2 hours. I'm like, we have to go see it. We have to. Like, that's a compliment to Eminem.
That was actually a great movie. It reminded me of Rocky, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, this is kind of like he rewrote Rocky, but for rap.
So it's like rappy.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Sorry, it came into my head.
I just pulled that right out of the top of my head. That's
Yeah, it
great.
just came out. There's nothing I could do about it.
I can't help myself. I just want to know if you had one chance, just one.
Adrian.
So you're going there, she gets it.
I got it.
One
My ex loved that
opportunity.
movie.
I actually just watched it the other day again because it's on. It's back on Netflix. So I'm like, yeah, 8 Mile. Let's do it. Hey, don't do that. No,
Sorry.
don't yawn like that,
It's been a
Sean.
long day.
I love this song. I went down the rabbit hole on YouTube, damn it. You guys can't hear.
I do have to say there is one like sexual part in that movie.
When his friend is banging his mom,
No,
Kim Basinger.
no. I thought it was pretty hardcore, but when he has, she's got her headphones on. She needs to hear this.
Yeah,
Hey.
sorry.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I just have music background.
So when he's having, the blonde, and he has sex with her at his work, and she goes like this. She like takes her hand and goes,
Oh yeah.
does that, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, that's pretty fucking hardcore right there. for a movie, that's pretty badass. So
Matthew, let's take a look at your page. This is what
what comes up?
guitarmonks.com.
Fourth Dimension. Oh man, those.
This is through this. I don't know why this went to Yahoo search.
Oh no, I was gonna say do it through YouTube. Those suck. Those are all short.
Search across your channel. No. No.
God, I hope that's not what comes up.
Oh. Let's get out here. YouTube. All right. From a fresh YouTube.
Okay. Matthew with one T.
I know. All right. Without even.
And then, okay. Well, there's a Matthew Dixon Ho'oponopono. Go for that one. Let's see what that does. I was going to say Guitar Monks, but.
You look fatter there.
Thanks.
You tell
432
Dr. Joe I said this.
0 Ho'oponopono.
All right. So
That's my search engine optimization sucks.
well, I mean, he comes up with products first.
Oh yeah, all those people. Great. Oh, great. Fantastic. Can you go
guys-
down a little bit more?
We're going. We're going.
Wait, hold on.
Oop.
Fuck. That sucks.
Is that you?
Yeah,
I-
yeah, it's not.
That's what you're looking for?
Well, I just want to know what came. Oh, great. And then there's the interview with India. Okay. All right. It's interesting what you get and what I get is two different things, but
Right. And I'm coming in fresh because I haven't searched you out for this profile before.
oh, come on. You search me every night, buddy. You know that.
Not often. This is a new channel, new profile, new everything. Trust me, I have plenty.
Jerking off to you and searching you are two different things.
Yeah, totally different.
Oh man, this is a mess. It's not even pulling up. You know, you would think that the ones with the big numbers would be the ones that come up first, and they're not. And then I
Right.
got Joe all over the place on here.
Oh, how to be seductive. Michaela
Great.
Peterson,
that
I love
works.
her. I love her. How does she pop up? Oh, this is for you. This is for me. Oh, because I watch.
Is that Peterson's daughter?
Yeah,
She's fucking gorgeous, dude.
she's a hot piece of
God.
animal.
Mine's even different. I just put in Matthew Dixon. That's all I put in. You're
One
the
T.
starting on
With
the
one T.
with one T, and starting
Okay.
on the third video is you, like all the way down.
Okay.
Or
Oh, without the
five.
hope. Oh, no. Okay. Let's try it
Yeah,
without
I didn't
the
put
key,
that in.
without the buzzword.
The buzzword. That's right. The key phrase.
Let's put
Oh,
in-
look at this. What is this? Holy Temple Church Bishop.
There we go.
Yeah, I got those two. It's a Matthew L. Dixon. So go down.
Yeah, but he's got two T's and he's
And-
up.
Right. And then there it is. So mine's a little different order, but yeah, basically it's right there. Those are the ones you yeah.
Oh, wait, can you back up? Go back up real quick. 8. What? I don't know.
You're a lot lighter now.
See, that one's not even in my
All right,
thing.
that's cool. Whatever.
That's
I
Matthew
can't
L.
fix that. I can't fix that stuff. I don't know how to do it.
I don't know if you can change the
I'm
optimization.
definitely not paying somebody to do it, so forget it.
How about guitar? Monk. Dave Monk, old guitar monkey. All right, old guitar monks.
Damn you, Dave Monk.
There you go, guitar monks.
Yeah, he still comes up second though. Whoever this Dave guy is,
Fuck that guy.
he's whiter than I am.
Hey, look at you in 30 years.
Exactly. All right,
Oh.
thanks. Don't just.
I wonder if he's got some skills. He's jamming against his brother. Or wait, is he playing lead and rhythm with himself? That's what he's doing. All right. You can't beat Shaolin monks.
Oh my God, who was that muscle guy? That was weird.
That was some crazy Shaolin monk. So I do know search engine optimization. because you know,
SEO, baby.
yeah, it's one of
Everybody
the
needs it, right?
it's one of those things that I was like, I don't know how that works. Let me take a master's course on it.
It's a great keyword that everybody likes to sell you on.
Master's.
You need better SEO. What's SEO? Search engine
Oh, yeah.
optimization.
Yeah, got to get SEO. Man.
I need that. Sounds good.
If I convert you over, let's convert you over to let me shut this off. Leave this one, I believe.
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah. So let's go into the YouTubes. And I believe I have some doohickeys and filters set up to check.
How can Ho'oponopono music clean data within you?
Oh God, turn this off, please.
Sorry.
I don't want to hear myself.
Jeffrey Sinatra, switch account. Atomic Dark Squad. No. One of these damn things has.
Let me show you how.
It has all the. It'll tell you how you rank. Oh, here it is.
Clean data within you.
There we go, Matthew. Hey, why don't we use if you ever want to use your guitar playing skills and my voice, and all you have to do is if you're on camera, just go, and then I think we got something. I'll do that.
What about I just shove my hand up your butt and run your mouth like a puppet?
Oh, John, can you take your hand out, please? Matthew wants to get in there.
Mine.
So this is what I wanted to show you. It popped up actually. It's a video. It's a video insights. It shows. It's I use this thing called Tamper Monkey. Tamper Monkey will people create scripts that will manipulate web pages, and you can add that to your search. So anytime I'm in a video, and it'll show this data. So this is yours. This is the optimization score. You get a 51 out of 100 score for.
I'm over halfway. Yay.
Engagement score is 1%. Usually 3% is good. Views per day is 1.27 on this specifically. Topic expertise ranks as 5%. Total subscribers 3,480. Total channel views 717,711 views. Jesus, son. Jeez. So yeah, this is keywords everywhere. It goes through your ranking and your SEO and tells you how everything is calculated and how it works. So you can check out anybody's stuff, and if you want to download it, you can. So here's all your key tags. Dink, dink.
This stuff gives me a headache.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, this is not my world. I can't.
I hate creating.
I'm not good, and whatever we're watching here changes. Yeah, my first album from back in 2005 or something like that. That the only reason I put the video up there was so that I could put it on my webpage. That was it. So it wasn't even promoted beyond that. But
it's funny. Oh, you should have made it private then. You know.
No, but because then it won't show up on the webpage.
Oh, because you're embedding it in the web.
I'm in WordPress and I embedded it in.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm doing. So that's how I do it. No. Again, we've lost our audience completely. So.
Oh, I wasn't concerned about an audience. I just wanted to catch up with you guys. That's the fun thing. I found something today that I haven't been able to play with for a long time.
It's called your penis.
Oh, my penis.
It's been there the whole entire time.
Damn it.
I told you.
Well, I'm gonna
Just gotta
no low carb things.
you gotta move that
down.
tummy fat out of the way, and it's still down there. That's what
Yeah. I've dropped a couple of pounds, so I can look down and see my wiener. So that's exciting.
Hey,
Yeah.
good for you.
It's like little wins.
Your new girlfriend, which by the way, I gave her a friend request on
Instagram, Facebook,
like that.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So you probably didn't hear, but I went to my 30th reunion, high school reunion, July 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to any of the prior ones because I didn't care. And I had a good time. I enjoyed it. It was nice.
Really?
It was a lot of fun. And Rebecca was, of course, the life of the party. I had no idea that I'd get social cachet from her, just being so friendly and affable and dancing with everybody and just having a good old time. Everyone was like, they're like, you weren't in our class, were you? She's like, no, I'm here with Jeff Adams. And they're like, oh. And then all of a sudden the hot chicks are coming over and talking to me, which is funny. They're like,
I think I know why, but
they were like, oh, so how have you been? I'm like, good. They're like, I'm so happy for you. Like, you seem so happy. You guys are so damn fucking cute together. I'm like, I said, yeah, I'm usually an extrovert. I said, I am an extrovert. I said, I'll be honest with you, it's quite nice to be able to go out in public and then just let her, all right, go make friends with everybody. Yay. And it takes a lot of the pressure off of me. Having to be like, hey, everybody. They're like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, yeah, it was like hot blonde chicks. They're like, so tell me, how many kids do you have? Why didn't we know each other in high school? Oh, because you were a snob bitch. But I mean, I remember you. Like, I remember seeing you around and stuff. Like, yeah. What do you do now? I'm a voice systems engineer for an online and brick and mortar IT college. And they're like, oh, wow.
So let me ask you, because I have not been to any reunions. I don't plan on going to any. I have two ideas of what they are. One is the obvious. It's a hookup thing. For everybody who's single, they're trying to get back and hook up with somebody. The second is, I'm going to go in and show you how great my fucking life is. Am I wrong?
I was
not you. I'm just saying in general, the overall
I know what you're
vibe.
asking.
Not everybody's going to be that way.
You will expect the old school A group to show up and act cocky. And what I noticed was some of the obvious people that I expected to show up did not, but most of the A group showed up, like the football players and the cheerleaders and whatnot.
Well, they have to show up because that's all they have.
They were strangely, everybody was approachable and everybody was friendly and there was no posturing. Like, it was surprising. And like there's like probably
blank,
probably a third of the class was there. And yeah, they were like, a lot of them have been married since they got out of high school. They got kids are just growing up and just starting to do fun stuff. And like, it was wild. I was really pleased that there was none of that snobbery bullshit.
Then I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, I think it's amazing what time does. I noticed it when I started to do the Saturday Sultan show and we started to have people on before it went insane. And I had to kill it, bury it in the backyard very deep. But the initial response that made me want to actually go participate was reaching out to you know, just anyone, like anybody I thought was hot in in high school. I was like, I had such a crush on you. I had such a crush on you. I had such a crush on you. You guys want to come on the show? Sure. What? It was surprising how it just brought people together like that thing. I always hearken it to like sixth grade camp was when I realized what tribalism was, and it was sixth grade. I said, you know, if you get stranded in literally Siberia, Russia, Arctic Russia, and everybody's either speaking some form of Chinese or some sort of Russian dialect, you're going to be so excited if you run into somebody who speaks English because you're that far away from everything. And all it takes is hearing that familiar, you know, language, that accent. It doesn't even matter if it's Canada, it doesn't matter. But you're like, English? Like English? Are you American? Are you American? North American? Where are you from? Oh my God, I'm from Manitoba. They're like, shit, I'm from Tucson. We're practically fucking related, you know? When you're apart from your tribe, you're gonna find anything that connects you. It's almost out of desperation. It's this need that we have as humans to be connected to something. So you could be mortal enemies with somebody growing up, and then the two of you wind up in a Siberian prison, and you're gonna be best fucking friends the whole time you're there, no matter how hardcore enemy you were, unless you're Robert Mott, at which point I'm gonna kill you in prison. And anyway, sixth grade camp was exactly like that. We all get into a bus, and you're going to be away from, you know, your folks for the first time with a bunch of kids. And as soon as we got to camp, and there was all these other schools, it wasn't about who was friends with who and who got along with who in middle school. It was, we are all from Rio Seco, and we're going to go up against Encinitas. So it was like, all of a sudden, it was like your own tribe. And now you're connected with everybody in your tribe. And that's the first time I noticed that. I was like 12 years old. I'm like, this person never talks to me. And this person is sharing their pillow with me, you know, after dinner when they're reading ghost stories. Like, that's bizarre.
Did you possibly have a steak with a pig head on it?
Yes. And I had the conch, and I had to kill Piggy, and that's just how it works. But I remember, I think Eddie Yancey, who was the
My personal hero, by the way.
I know. He was one of the popular boys because he was athletic and blonde hair, blue eyes, cute. Girls liked him, of course. So he was kind of he was alpha, you know, in middle school, right? Like Scott McGuckin, you know.
Oh, Scott.
Alpha, right?
That was my best friend for a long time.
Whether he wanted to be or not, he was alpha. Yeah, I love Scott.
You know that Eddie, in high school, I had a band. I put together a thrash metal band, but I needed a front man. And so who did I go to? I went to Eddie Yancey. And he didn't know how to sing or do anything. I had Ray Clark as the bass player. You know, we ended up auditioning this drummer. And Eddie, like, it was literally in the locker room, as you can remember, that stinky fucking locker room in Santana. And I was like, hey, man, I'm putting together a thrash metal band. I want you to be the singer. He's like, I don't know how to sing. I'm like, you don't have to sing. I'm like, just fucking yell. And then all of a sudden, he shifted everything. He dyed his hair purple. He quit wearing, because he was dressing like he was from 90210 at that point in time. Remember?
Oh, preppy, yep.
Yeah, he was so
his
preppy.
Cavarici slacks and
he had a preppy car. Yeah. He had the Rabbit or whatever by Volkswagen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he had a truck, and he, you know, and he just melted right into it. And he went on for quite a while, even beyond me, because I couldn't stay in the band after a while. I was kind of like, I gotta get out of here. But
Overnight, he went from the
Oh yeah, he
Jason
went from
Priestley.
preppy to punk like bam.
he embraced it.
Yeah, and him and I, like we
He
we
caught
even
your
talked
vision.
about when we used to go up and sit on Mount Soledad and try to write lyrics because we didn't know how to write lyrics. It was like really hard to do. Like, how do you
Write a
write a
poem.
song? I'm like, I don't fucking know how to write a song. Do you know how to write a song? No, I don't know how to write a song either. Okay, well, let's just jot shit down and hope to God we can do it. So,
Look around at stuff and then write it down. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? What are you thinking about what you're seeing?
that's why we went to Mount Soledad. Like, this will be really cool sitting up here. This will be inspiring. Got anything? No.
No. This song is called Under the Cross. Okay, what's the next one? Under the Cross, and the next one, Under the Cross.
On the
You need to
mountain.
move on the mountain, under the cross. Refrain.
On top of
Extended version.
the cross.
Oh man.
Yeah, we sucked. We were so bad. It was horrible.
How do you start writing poetry, Mama Fox? How?
Ooh.
How do you find the inspiration either for, and I guess I should ask you what direction you go. Do you find words and then a theme, or do you start with theme?
Can I interject real quick? Just a question personally. Do you write poetry?
I do. I write
Okay.
poetry.
All right. And
Yeah.
see, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
Yes. She's a poet and she knows it.
I tried to write poetry recently and it just failed. I just started babbling. So I would be interested in the answer to this.
So I don't write like I have heard a lot of people do. I cannot make myself sit down and like have a time and go, okay, I'm gonna write, because then my mind will absolutely be blank because I'm trying. So it is just usually it'll be like a line. It'll just kind of pop in my head and I'll be like, ooh, that sounds good. And then I'll be like, okay, so, and I've learned, write it down, Missy, because as much as I say, oh, that is too good, I'll never forget it, I will forget it 2 minutes later. And then I'll spend all day going, what was that really cool kick-ass line? Like, I'll never remember. So I write it down. And then when I have time, then I can sit and look at it. And usually I'll just be like, it'll start with just a line. Sometimes 2 or 3, but generally it's just that line. And I just go from there. And honestly, so I like mine to rhyme. I know not everybody does. I'm not a true writer. If I rhyme, whatever bullshit, it makes sense to me. So I will write a line and then take, depending on if I'm gonna, usually I'll write 3 or 4 line stanzas and depend on if I'm gonna rhyme like 2 and 4 or 1 and 4. And I'll Google, I use rhyme time, and I'll go like, what rhymes with this? And then I'll just look at the list, and that's where my next line comes from. And I'll just, and so it starts with the line and the theme will grow from that, depending on the word choice that I pick.
That's interesting. I can kind of relate with that. I mean, through the years, I had to figure out how to write lyrics, and it was always the last word of each line that kind of structured the sentence, because I had to get them, especially with writing like more popular music, you wanted it to rhyme.
Right.
Melodically, you could make it
like
work.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. And I used to just put like an underline underneath that last word and be like, okay, this is the word you got to rhyme with. So that makes total sense to me. Be able to do that. Do you have like a favorite poet?
I don't, because in all honesty, I hate poetry.
Really?
I love that.
I do. I hate poetry.
Yeah, there's nothing
I
wrong
love
with that.
I've over years, I've actually started like 3 or 4 books. I always thought I would be a writer, like a real writer, right? I'm going to be a real writer. Yeah, I can't write books for shit because my mind is just too convoluted, and I try, it just doesn't work. Honestly, the first poem I wrote, I had woken up and I was in the bathroom one night in the middle of the night, and I was just like, and this whole thing just came to my head and I was like, what the fuck is this? And it wouldn't go away. And I was sitting there peeing going, I don't know what's going on in my brain. Where have I heard it before? I was trying to think, and I came in back in my room and I Googled the words because I was like, am I thinking of a song I just can't place or something?
Right.
Nope. And so I just wrote it down and I was like, wow. And if you want, I actually have it right here.
Yeah, if you'd share, we'd love
I
that.
want it.
This just came out. So I just wrote it, and that's how I do it. It just comes out of me. I write it and I don't go back and edit.
That's
So if
inspired.
it sucks, I just move on. So my very, very first one was, you're packed and ready to go. You were only here to play. Now I'm all alone and oh so low. You never called again while I just stared at my phone. I don't even know where to begin. You only gave me your heart on loan. Minutes turn into hours, days turn into weeks. Inside has only been showers running down my cheeks. As times go by, my tears start to dry, but I still feel oh so weak. It's really lame, but
No,
it
it's
is
not.
what
No, it's
started.
not. No, it's not. In
No,
fact, could I offer some criticism?
Yeah.
Read a little slower with
No,
this.
Oh,
slower.
I know. I did.
Don't
I'm
rush
horrible at
through.
that.
I mean, I to keep up with your pace was difficult, but I thought it sounded fantastic.
Same.
Thank you.
But I would definitely slow your pace down. You know, own it. That's what I
Yeah.
always
Yeah, that
Own
is
it.
because I get nervous. I'm like, oh, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, I know. That's everybody does. So
Let's
read it again right now, slowly.
Okay. So I'll read my first one and I'll read my last one if you want. You can see
Yes.
the difference in
what's
how I write.
what's the span between your first one and last one, years or time wise?
It's all maybe a year tops.
And
Okay.
what are the titles?
I don't have titles.
Okay.
I've never been able to title them. I try, but just I'm like, eh. So
I got you. I'll come up with
my
titles.
I do it a lot for therapy, and my therapist wanted me to publish. And I actually have the title of my book though. It's Through the Matrix of a Bipolar Mind.
Nice.
Because my
There you
brothers
go.
always tell me, don't go into don't go into her brain. It's the matrix. You will get lost. Okay. So my first poem.
Slowly take a breath. Feel your heartbeat for a second.
You're packed and ready to go. You were only here to play. Now I'm all alone and oh so low. You never called again. Well, I just stared at my phone. I don't even know where to begin. You only gave me your heart on loan. Minutes turn into hours. Days turns into weeks. Inside has only been showers running down my cheeks. As time goes by and tears start to dry, but I still feel oh so weak.
That is beautiful. And I gotta
Oh.
tell you, for me, way more impactful when he read it that way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You put that feeling in there. That's what
Yeah,
it's about.
you gotta do that. You gotta own it and let that come through. And I'm not bullshitting you here. I'm just telling you what I hear. Now I want to hear your most the most current
This
one.
is my most recent one, yeah.
All right.
Here I stand, feeling naked and alone. All of my emotions raw to the bone. Everyone can see how this hurts me so. I beg and plead to just let me go. Yet here I am, so woefully exposed, with nowhere to go, my mind completely enclosed. I fight and I wrestle with all these thoughts. They don't start with me, but still tie me in knots. For my mind is not mine, and I linger in doubt. From thoughts so fast, I cannot shout. I need some help while trying to figure out how to just be me and do my best to break out.
Nice. Let me think on that. Let me think.
Wow.
See if I can find my most favorite one.
Step bro.
Step bro.
That was really good.
Thanks. I wrote that one the other day because I stopped writing for a while. But Hannah actually got me back into writing.
Hannah got you back into writing?
Yeah.
She inspired you, huh?
Yep. She got me my
That
kicked back into gear.
that fucking play that she did,
Yeah.
unbelievable how crazy impactful that thing is. Like, I can't watch it without getting choked up. And it's not because I'm part of the reason why that person killed herself. But
What are we talking about? A play?
Hannah, my youngest, wrote a play, or she was writing for therapeutic purposes, basically, for therapy. And she was writing about, things that were real to her, things that were impactful, and things that. So she wrote what became a short story, I guess, about a young lady who commits suicide by jumping off a 14th floor of a building. And as she plummets towards her death, she cycles through the things that caused her to get there. And it's her parents' divorce, mother berating her, telling her she's not good enough, father calling her a dirt worshiping heathen for being a Wiccan. That'd be me. Bad online relationship that created some trauma for her that we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was happening, unfortunately. And kind of a best friend neighbor down the street who was super abusive to her too. So as she's going from 14th floor down, each floor along the way, she's having a memory as to why she did it. And then at floor 7, halfway down, regrets that she jumped.
Yeah, it was, wow.
And then spends the next 6 floors wishing that they could have made a different decision, but alas, it was too late. Obviously you're already there. And then she dies. And so she turned that story in. She was in her drama club, and the teacher director was asking for just submit stories. Like, what do you have? And so she submitted it to him. Nobody had read it yet, and she didn't intend it to be a play or anything. It was literally just her going through her own suicidal ideation and the things that have driven her to get there. And he read it and was like, holy crap, do you realize this could be a play? This is really powerful. And she said, no. And he said, probably have to clean it up a little bit, make sure there's a lot of regret in the decision, because this is going to be for younger audiences.
Has to be able to swallow it.
Yeah, so we'll got to tighten it up a little bit. This is phenomenal. So he encouraged her to rewrite it, and she did. And then there was a statewide like youth theater production where they do like once a year. They pick 6 playwrights anonymously. Like, they take the names off, and all the submissions get read, and she was picked out of 350 entrants.
Wow.
To have her screenplay made into a play.
It was amazing.
Okay, and this is your youngest, who is only 15. So
15.
How old was she when she wrote this?
She was 14 when she wrote it, I think.
Wow. Okay.
And then strangely, the Playhouse is literally by my house. It was unbelievable. So she stayed with me for the week, and she got to go for casting. She was picking who's going to play what part. I was like, who's playing me? You better be sexy. I hadn't read the script yet, so I didn't know what it was about. I mean, I knew it was generally about, because she as it got closer, she had to divulge more, because mom and dad are going to come on 2 different dates, or to come see this. They should probably know that they're part of the subject matter. So she's like, just so you know, Father, you're part of the reason why the character kills herself.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit. right?
And I was like, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trust me, sweetheart. Through the 5 years where 3.5 of them were I didn't know which end was up. I probably could give you 10,000 reasons why I could have given you, pause. I could have, yeah. I was surviving, and I was not an excuse, but we've all, this is my first time around in this life too. So I said, don't worry. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you villainize me. I don't care if you tell the most honest, awful things that I've said and done. I'm okay with it because you're here. And that's what matters, is that you're here.
And she's expressing, which is
You're sharing your thoughts, and you're sharing it with other people. And I'm so incredibly proud of you for making it, surviving that, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. I love you no matter what. I said, how about your mom? And she goes, yeah. You might be a little bit upset. Mom's going to lose it, I think. Because she goes, here's the thing. I just put into the characters exactly the truth as I remember it to be. I said, that's fair. It's a good assessment too, that you say it that way. And she goes, so do you remember when I was in advanced math forever, and they basically said like they had people who were going to come from MIT to come evaluate me? I said, yeah. And then I got a B because you guys were getting divorced. And then mom told me I was stupid, I was lazy, and I was a failure. And because I got a B, I got taken out of advanced math. And then she told me that I was a loser. And I said, yeah, I remember hearing about that. So that's in there. So she kind of destroyed me. I went from feeling pride about something to being afraid to succeed. So I don't know how she's going to take that, but I just put the words that she used, which are, you're a loser and you're stupid. I don't care if you got a B. It's not good enough. You'll never be good enough. I was like, wow, yeah, she's probably not going to react well to that, but it's true.
And she didn't react very well to that.
Yeah, and she's like, and the parts when she would get upset, and then she would say, I wish you were never born. You ruined my life. I'm like, she said that to you? You were like the last child. If anybody ruined your life, it was Hunter. Her life, it was Hunter. Actually, it was the pregnancy she lost before that. That started it all. She's like, yeah, so I don't know what to do. So you probably want to warn your mom a little bit. Give her a heads up. She's coming with flowers.
all right.
Mom, I said, understand your mom. Your mom has rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which is very common in females who have ADHD, and she's bipolar on top of that. So add those things together. It's a challenge. So Lisa takes any form of criticism, any, and criticism meaning other than positive, right? Neutral could be criticism if she's looking for positive. If someone says, hey, good job, I appreciate that. I have some feedback for you though that could help you be better. She will take that and she will process it like, they were yelling at me. And that's how she sees it. That's her perspective. It's her brain. This is called a small hippocampus, which is your memory. Big amygdala, which is fight or flight. And that happens with the sort of trauma that she went through growing up.
If you think it, then it is real.
Yeah, and it's
whether it's real or not.
The scary part is it's not even thought. It's literally your limbic brain. It's your
reaction.
Your instinct sees it as real. Your instinct saw the lion, so the lion was trying to chase you, right? So I was like, oh, so I'm trying to prep my daughter for her rejection while I'm trying to prep my ex-wife for her experience. And I said, listen, and Lisa's like, I don't think I want to go. I don't want to go. This sounds horrible. I don't want to go. Like, I'm not going to handle it well. You know this. And I'm like, well, listen, you have to kind of go. We have to support our daughter and like having the courage to tell her side of the story. And she's like, I don't want to, I'm not going to react well.
I'm I'd like to cut you off
Yeah, go ahead.
just so that I can share with you because you and I are so much alike. And then I need to get back to one other thing dealing with poetry. And usually when I have two things, I forget one of them. So somebody say Charles Bukowski at some point in time, and I'll remember what that part is. But for you right now, Jeff, because we are so much alike, and I'm not saying that I'm good at this. I'm not saying that I've figured it out, but I'm in a position where I am starting to not try to fix the problems anymore when it comes to the relationship situation between your kids and your ex. There's a lot going on, like everybody has, you know. I mean, everybody's got their own thing going on, but everything you're doing is that good guy syndrome, and that good guy syndrome is just as toxic, and that's what I'm learning. Because we think that we're doing the right thing, and then we're upset when the right thing is not being done correctly. And we want to shelter and protect our kids, number one. And the truth is, we don't necessarily have to, because we all had fucked up childhoods in one way or another. So those are kind of the things that make us who we are.
Yep.
You know, like, so you're telling me about this play that sounds really awesome to me. I would love to see it.
7 minutes long.
Oh, well, if you can send it, I would love to see it. But to me, it sounds like, you know, somehow this kid figured out how to write all these emotions within this one little collapsing moment.
Yep.
And that's just brilliant. And you can sit there and feel bad about it. You can feel bad about what you did or what she did or anything like that. But the truth is, that play wouldn't exist if those things hadn't happened. So sometimes the good and the bad are kind of all the same thing. So
Yeah.
I might be talking out my ass. I mean, I don't necessarily know. I don't have a doctorate degree or anything like that. So.
I appreciate your perspective, and I understand where you're coming from completely. I was fine with it. And I still am. I'm 100% fine with the betrayal, not the portrayal, because the portrayal made the art. And just like,
yeah, but
totally,
I'm feeding off the part where you're talking about, hey, yeah, you might want to you're protecting your ex. And
no,
see, I did the same exact thing.
No, not protecting. My daughter asked me she was afraid because mom has a propensity to go really, really dark for long periods of time over things that she perceives as personal attacks.
Okay. Yeah. And
the daughter going through her thing was asking me how to navigate it.
Okay.
Your mom's going to react. That's what I told her. Your mom's going to react. It's how she's wired. It doesn't mean that's how she wants to.
Okay. Why do you think your daughter came to you with that, though?
What's that?
Why do you think she came to you with that?
Because I'm the other parent?
Could be. Or she knows that is your role. And what I'm saying is you got to get out of that role.
I promise you, I've been out of that role. This is a unique situation.
Okay. Well,
I,
then
I
I'll
don't
stop right there.
I don't play referee between them. Otherwise, I give like zero shits, zero for any of the kids.
Okay.
If they ask for advice, I'll give them advice. Like they'll say, "Hey, can you help me? I need to talk to mom. Can you help me? Like prepare for that." I'm like, "Sure, I can do that because it's not me on intervening on their behalf."
That's my point right there.
I'm like, "Run it by me. What are you thinking?" And they're like, "This is what I'm thinking." I'm like, "Cool, go with it." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, go with it. What's the worst that can happen?
Okay.
She's human. Go with it." They're like, "Oh, I don't know, but what if she?" I'm like, "But what if she? Whatever. You don't know. I mean, there's all these things. What if? What if? What if?" I said, "The truth is, you want to talk to your mom about subject X, and you're afraid how she's going to react. So just be prepared for what's your skin in the game. What's your point of view? Why do you want to have this conversation? Why is it important to you? And then just own it. Don't worry about the rest. The rest is irrelevant."
Okay. I agree. That's,
You know, people get upset.
that's exactly my point. I wasn't sure if that's where you were at or not.
Yeah, I don't want them to think the way I think, or I don't want them to. And I'm not like going to like, "Hey Lisa, I need you to do this." This is a weird situation, which is why I guess I was telling it, was because I had my kid here afraid that I would react poorly. I'm like, I won't. We're here. We made it. We're fine. That's it. We live and learn, and we learn from our mistakes, and we learn from our successes, and life is all about that. So don't worry about it. I love you. You're never going to offend me to the point where it's going to be an issue. I promise you.
Yeah, it's your kid. You
Can't offend me.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of being a parent, is like, it's always your kids. So it's not even your ex, because you
Right.
know, or your wife or anything, or even your parents. You know, you're now the parent.
It's a unique relationship in that regard.
So
The
let me
weird
jump
part was
back
that-
real quick to Mama Fox with one recommendation.
Let me finish my sentence.
Oh, yes.
The weird part, which is I think what prompted me to bring this up, was I had not been asked for advice or solicited that I gave a one way or the other about whatever was going on in that woman's head, probably for the last 2.5 years. Like, just not that I'm disinterested in her life. Like, you know, we can share. That's fine. But I'm not here to solve anything for you, and you're not here to solve anything for me. And everything's pleasant in passing, and we'll solve things if it's kid related. The weird part was I had kid on cell phone being like, "Father, I'm afraid," and then I had ex-wife on cell phone, not knowing that there was any correlation. Her going, "I'm afraid." It was a weird spot. "I'm afraid mom's gonna react poorly," and she goes, "I'm afraid I'm gonna react poorly." And I was like, this is so weird. It's such a strange thing because they were both right. So I'm like, what can you do in that situation? The only thing I could do in that situation was say, it's going to happen the way it happens, regardless of the outcome. She's your mom and she loves you. That's it. She might react poorly in the moment. There's nothing you can do about it. She'll process on her own terms and she will come back to you when she's ready. And there you go. That's all I can tell you. It's not going to change the fact that she loves you. Sometimes we have to hurt people to teach people. It happens. It's okay.
So they both called you though.
They were both in like 2 different ears, the same like 2-day period. I never let either one of them know that they were both talking about the same scenario, and they were both like, but they were owning it from their own perspectives, which was really interesting.
I'm going to say it one more time. That is my point.
What?
It's the relationship with not only your child, which you should have, but it's also the relationship with your ex. And hey, maybe it needed to happen that way. That's fine. But
You reacted poorly, which is great.
what's that?
You reacted poorly, which was funny. But then here's how I knew. They went to the play, and I knew what time. I knew it was going to be over at 6-ish. I sent some money because I wasn't able to go. I sent some money to Lisa, and I said, "Will you take the kids for ice cream or something afterwards? Like, do something celebratory." Because I'm going on Saturday, and I'm not going out at 2. We're not going to go celebrate at 2. Like, do it on Friday night. That makes sense. And I don't send her money for anything outside of my financial obligation, which was also unique. But I'm like, look, I'm like, ice cream, go do ice cream. And then half hour after the play's over, my front door kicks open on a Friday night, and I'm like, hi. All three kids come in, they're like, hi, Dad, father, children. All right, then. And that answered that question. It made me laugh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whether my kids come over on Fridays, because I didn't explain this, my bad. Because of the play, I told Lisa she can have them for the weekend. So time of day, I said, you guys enjoy your Friday night. The kids are going to sleep in on Saturday anyway. I don't need them coming over at 3:00 in the afternoon, to spend 18 hours with me. It's no big deal. Enjoy the weekend. You guys do your thing. I bless it. You guys have a good time. Celebrate the play. Have fun. Cool. But Lisa had said, if I don't react well to it, I'm not going to say anything. But I might need to just drop off a kid at your house and not speak to them for a week until I get my stuff together. And I was like, whatever. That somebody interrupted me in the middle of my story, so I'm sorry. It's discombobulated. That's how I knew what had happened was on Friday evening, me not expecting to see my kids for 10 days. They come through the door with nothing. There's them, no gear, no computer with Hunter, like their normal stuff they bring with them. They're just like, hi. So apparently we're staying with you for 2 weeks. I was like, welcome.
How long ago did this happen?
Or beginning of summer.
Okay. All right. I'm just getting time frame.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, hi guys. Glad I wasn't jerking off at my computer. Like doing something awkward.
Right. Yeah, right.
I was like, hi.
Luckily the cocaine and hookers are all hidden. So
yeah, dude, that's your luckiest story.
We're good.
You guys want some cocaine? There's some cocaine on the tables. Just say hi to
Candy.
Say hi to Trina and Betsy and ladies. They were just here doing my laundry. Okay.
I will say it again. You keep proving my point.
Which one?
Mama Fox, can you help me here? I mean, am I wrong? Is this guy just...
See, I never had that in my breakup. Granted, I didn't want the divorce, but we're still best friends and we always have been. So there was never anything for my son to go back and forth between us. We co-parented from the day we had him to today. We've never had any.
He never wrote a play about you.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is uncharted territory for me. I don't know because I haven't had to be in that situation.
Yeah. And I actually haven't either, but I keep going back to this because I read this book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. It really helped me out quite a bit. My cousin recommended it to me when I got divorced. He's like, this is the book that really helped me.
I like that guy, the guy who wrote it.
Yeah.
He's a doctor.
So like what you just went through, what you just described right there, where you're like, hey, go ahead and keep the kids, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, as your words were, they kicked in the door, which I'm sure they didn't kick in the door, but they just came in. Hey, Dad, you're like, hi, children. And anything could have been going on. You had no heads up whatsoever, right?
Not in that moment.
Yeah. So the ex didn't say, hey, you know what? I can't handle this. I need you to take him.
Right.
That is what I would
experience. She implied it before. She said, like, this might happen.
Yeah, well, might happen and happen. How hard is it to write a text message and just say, you know what, I'm dropping the kids?
When you're in the middle of a emotional and psychological collapse.
No, there's no excuse.
Hard to write a text message.
Now you're making excuses. That's the nice guy syndrome again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, man, you gotta fucking reach down here and grab them.
Wow.
Every once in a while. you know? And it doesn't mean you got to be horrible.
There's literally no there's no relationship that exists between us outside of my terms, outside of the moment when my daughter was trying to negotiate what to do with.
That's not what I'm hearing.
I'm literally telling you a one-off situation.
I know, and I'm just saying. You got 3 kids piling in your door going, hey, we're here for 2 weeks. Mom kind of hinted that maybe this is going to happen. And then, you know, like, yeah, maybe you had a hooker over or something. Who knows what you do? That's your life.
I don't.
Well, no, I'm sure you don't. But, you know,
That's the weird part is she'll call and I'll be working or something. I don't respond, and then I'll get back to her, I don't know, later on, and she's like, well, I was going to a interview, or I was going to an appointment. I had Hannah with me, and it was going to be like a 3-hour appointment. And she asked if she can hang out with you, so that's why I was calling. And I'm like, if you know I'm home and the car is there, like, you can drop her off. Like, it doesn't bother me. If I don't answer the phone, it's because I'm doing, you know, maybe I'm working. I work from home. If I'm working, I've got something going on, I'm not going to pick up the phone to talk to you. Or you can text and say, because I can read text, hey, I'm in your neighborhood. You know, Hannah would like to hang out with you if you're available or something. I'm like, it's fine. I said, you know what? If my fucking car's here, you got the kid, I don't mind. Bring her by. And she's like, well, I don't want to do that. Like, what if you have company? I'm like, that's fair.
Do you not hear yourself? Okay. If you were in the same room here, let me help you here. This is your, well, I have to put it up here, which is not correct. Here we go. Are you ready? Turn your head to the, well, actually do this first. Yeah, that's the first one. Oh, not yet.
You gonna shoot me?
Ready? There you go. Just give up, dude. Fucking hey. I can't say anymore. So
Mama Fox, what do you think?
no, I'm
Come on,
done.
Mama Fox.
I'm done. I'm gonna jump back to the poetry conversation because I have a recommendation that I gotta get out there at least once. So you said you don't necessarily like poetry, which I totally respect, and you're very good at it.
Thank you.
But I would, and you don't even have to buy any of his books or anything. In fact, on Facebook, if you just check him up, Charles Bukowski is one of my favorite poets because it's so raw and it's so real. He's like the Hunter Thompson of poetry. So
What was it,
I wanted
Charles?
to make sure I got that out.
Bukowski, Bukowski, Cowski.
Come on, you know I can't spell anything.
Okay. Oh, come on.
He
Charles
was
Bukowski.
postal. He wasn't in the post office. He worked for the post office for like 40 years.
Probably. I don't know.
And
He's like a massive drunk. He's
total drunk. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's awful.
He hit his stride in his 40s.
What's that?
He hit his stride in his 40s.
Yeah. And he's old, and
he was an old, crotchety, grumpy piece of shit.
And he just wrote what he fucking thought, you know, kind of the way you were describing, like it just comes out. I get a line, I just do it. That's what he did. And people just resonated with it. And for some reason he became famous, kind of, you know, pseudo famous.
Yeah, he did, sure.
Because of that.
It says Bukowski's work addresses the ordinary lives of poor Americans, the act of writing, alcohol, relationships with women, and the drudgery of work. Just the banal, normal.
If that's not poetry, then what is, right?
So I have one more, and I picked this one because honestly, this one is my favorite of all that I've written.
Oh, I love it.
But like 2/3 of the way through, it doesn't. There's no rhyme. There's no. But it is because like I said, I don't go back and edit. I know if I did, but then I fear that I'm going to change the heart of it, because I'm going to be like, oh, well, that word doesn't work. Well, I'm going to.
You said that you like to rhyme.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I didn't pick up on any rhyming. Maybe it was, but it just flowed so well that I didn't hear it.
Yeah, this one
Which is good. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be a distraction.
This one was more about the journey through it versus the words exactly. And then honestly, and it's just got a little, I don't know. So this one is other than what I wrote that I read the other night. This one's one of my favorites. So this feeling of anger.
Remember your tempo.
This feeling of anger is alive in my soul. It feeds me daily. It heats up my bowl. But if I wanted, I could let this fire die. It would be so easy to do and be healthier too. But when I think about living my life without its warm surges that twist and turn and weaves its trindles throughout my soul, I feel sad and lonely, and my nights would be cold. So yes, I could let this fire burn out and even tell myself to let go. But when I wake in the morning, I stretch, I smile, and I wiggle my warm toes. So I like that one because that's
I love that last line. That's
a little
great.
bit more of me in it.
Very good.
What was the one I wrote the other day, Jeffrey? My Dr. Seuss one. Remember you gave me the apps to create. So I do a writing club for my group on Saturdays. We just started, and we have a prompt. And my first one, I did a poem, and another lady did a poem, and we don't have to share, but I generally share what I write. And she wrote this poem, and it was beautiful. It was heartfelt. And somebody popped off, oh, I think I wrote something like that in high school. And I was like, oh shit, then mine's like 6th grade. Like mine's Dr. Seuss. But honestly, this one is me, like my personality kind of more. So this one's what I wrote. They named it for me. So this one is Rumination Nation. I don't title them, but they titled, my group titled it.
Wow.
The random thoughts, oh, how they run, never ending, never done. Spinning, twirling, loop de loop, making me jump through their hoop. With an ending never in sight, I wish I could just end this fight. I want to scream and I want to cry, but really, I just want to fly. To be at peace, to be let free, to always and only to be just me. How do I stop or even just pause with all of my many, many flaws? I breathe when all else fails, and I think of the details of my life, the love that I share, that is oh so rare. And then I swear.
I love it.
That does have a Dr. Seuss kind of
Yeah,
level,
Seussical the musical.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to put in
No, that's
the
I love
doodle
it.
thing. Thanks, guys. I don't get to share that often. I like to share it because I don't know, it makes me feel good, but I don't get to share it often. So thank you.
I think I like that one the most.
I like the last one.
That's actually that is the latest one that I wrote because I just wrote it.
The one prior, because you've read 3. I like the
Wiggle my warm toes.
No, I like the second one the best.
The latest one that I wrote. Yeah.
Just for me.
Oh, thank you.
But
It's really good.
yeah, and remember this: if you don't, if you don't share it, you're stealing that injustice from others. So never be afraid to share, because what it does for Jeff and what it does for me, and anybody else, it's going to be totally different.
Right.
And this is one of the things that I kind of know about. So very good though. I very much enjoy.
So to kind of support Matthew's recommendation of Charles Bukowski.
Uh-huh.
He's quoted for saying, find what you love and let it kill you. It's a common quote to him. It's not from a poem, but it's from a letter. And the letter is, my dear, find what you love and let it kill you. Let it drain from you your all. Let it cling onto your back and weigh you down into eventual nothingness. Let it kill you and let it devour your remains. For all things will kill you, both slowly and fastly, but it's much better to be killed by a lover. Falsely yours, Henry Charles Bukowski.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna look him up.
Well, and I and this is, not to slide too far off subject, but I thought I was so smart one day because I came up with this this thing. In fact, I even the thing I wrote tonight, we all have our punchlines, we all have our quotes that we say, and I've got a new one, and that's what I was kind of writing about. And I thought I came up with this where I just said, one day I realized every night I go to sleep and die, and every morning I wake up reborn. And I thought I came up with that on my own. I thought, it's fucking awesome. I told my friend Bubba about it. He's like, that's cool, man. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is how I live now. Every night I die, every morning I wake up. And then I heard this famous guy that was connected through my friend Bubba. And he in the podcast, he said, yeah, and I don't know who said it, but he said every night, and he said it. And I was like, fucker, that was me, man. And I was kind of pissed. I was kind of like, why didn't I get credit for that shit? I thought that was my shit. And I actually told my ex about it. I'm like, I'm kind of fucking pissed about this. And then she went out and researched it, and she goes, yeah, you're not the only guy to say that. Here it is. And I was like, but it's that going back to, hey, did I hear this somewhere? And I think it's my idea, but
Yeah.
it's not really your idea. You just don't remember when you heard it.
It just now resurfaced for
shit,
you.
but I wasn't. I was, I was just regurgitating something that I heard somewhere along the line, probably in a Joe Rogan interview or something like that. Shit. Yes.
You're gonna love this line. You're gonna love this, Mama Fox.
Okay.
On Bukowski's headstone, he died in 1994. His headstone says, "Don't try."
That's right.
As for what it means, it's probably best to let Bukowski tell us. This is what it means according to Bukowski. Somebody asked me, "What do you do? How do you write, create?" You don't, I told them. You don't try. That's very important, not to try, either for Cadillacs, creation, or immortality. You wait, and if nothing happens, you wait some more. It's like a bug high on the wall. You wait for it to come to you. When it gets close enough, you reach out, slap out, and kill it. Or if you like its looks, you make a pet out of it.
That is so true.
I'm telling you, that's brilliant.
It just his headstone just says, "Don't try."
Don't try.
Don't try. That's awesome.
Don't try.
But it's so true. I have a few friends that are like writers, and once they've learned that I write, whether when I'm trying to write a book or poetry or whatever, they try to give me tips and tricks, because I say sometimes it's hard, and sometimes there's like days or even weeks that there's just nothing there, or at least not conscious enough of it that I can get it out. And I've gotten all the tricks, set a certain time of day, set a time limit, set, blah, 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 all these things. And I honestly, I have tried them because I really was trying to be more serious about it for a while, months ago. And I really did try all these things, and none of them worked for me. And I mean, I'm sure they work for some people, and that's great, but just for me, none of them worked. If I tried to force anything,
You can't
my
force
mind
sugar.
just flies, just goes away, and then there's just nothing there. Or if I do perchance come up with a couple words or a couple lines, it means nothing to me, and then that's not worth it to me. I want to write something that means something to me. There's a reason why I'm writing this, whether
So
it's because something that's running through my head or hurting my heart. There's a reason why I'm writing it at this moment.
So here's the thing that I would tell you. Number one is, and I just had to deal with this last week. I was supposed to start it this week. I have been for 6 to 8 months working on a project that has been just a pain in the ass, just problem after problem after problem. And I can't make this thing work. It doesn't want to be what I want it to be. And I know right off the bat, you can't tell it what to be. You got to accept what it's going to be. So I decided last week, actually, I decided on Friday when I went to the Van Gogh exhibit, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to set it to the side. I'm going to start something new. I got things I can start. I got a project list that's a mile long. That's easy for me to do. It's just, what do you do next? And of course, financially, yeah, I would like to make money, but it doesn't always happen. I haven't made money in 3 years. So I'm like, cool. Every line, even if that line doesn't work in the moment, stash it somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Have a line book or something like that you can just put it to the side, because maybe right now is not the moment for it to happen, but you don't know when it will. And when it does, it'll hit and it'll spark and you'll know it, because
Yeah.
that's how it works. That's why I don't do, when I try to explain to people what I do for work, even when I was more successful than I am right now, which is fine. I'll get back to it, but it's hard to explain that, sometimes what I need to do is just go for a walk down to the river. And I just need to chill for a while. And when I launch a product, sometimes I go get a massage afterwards, and I do a little anchoring with that. And that sends it off into another land. All of a sudden sales start coming in and people just resonate. It's a whole vibrational thing that's going on. That's completely bizarre. I haven't got it mastered, but it does work. And that's what you do, just you do the work and then you just chill. And when it's not coming, just chill. It will come.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I have in my,
setting times and that shit.
Yeah. it doesn't work. In my book,
mean-
if I have a line that just is really incessant, but it's not something I can suss out at the time, I do write it and then I turn the page. So it's like, and every once in a while.
So it's open.
So it's open. So I have room, because I used to just like write it and then the next one I would write underneath it. And then I'd be like, read through and go, well, there's no, like, I would just skip it. So now I actually have just a page, an empty page for that line, or however, many. And so I don't know, sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's once a month. I'll just flip through and reread things. And when I get to that section, because it's later a little bit further on in my book, I've actually written a few of them. I mean, and they've turned out like, oh yeah, that's what that was for. But then there's so many that I'm just like, yeah, not yet. Just keep turning that page, and so I have gone back a few times. I think twice. I've written 2 of them.
How many poems do you think you have? Do you have like 20 or 24?
Yeah, well, probably around there. It's hard to
Okay,
see, but
perfect.
it's probably about a third of a composition book.
Okay. So my recommendation on that is publish it right now.
That's what people are
24.
telling me.
What?
That's what a lot of people have been telling me.
You go through Amazon. I don't know, somewhere around here is one of my books. Self-published or Amazon, and don't do it for the money, just do it to do it. That's how you jump that hurdle, you know. So write it down. You can do, you know, especially with a guy like Jeff, you know, he can turn you on to imagery that could be used to go with each one if you want. You drop that in, and believe me, you're not going to make any money off the book, because by the time Amazon's done, I'm lucky if I make $1 for every book that sells for $19.95.
Right.
It's just the fact that it was done.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I've got a book that is just pictures and paragraphs that I wrote. And you can just say 25 poems or 24 poems. 24 was the number that kept hitting. 24 poems for whatever, you know, come up with it. And you don't even have to title, just title them 1, 2, 3, 4, you know.
Yeah.
Except for the one that has a title, then just put that one in
Right.
there. People be like, what the fuck? Why did she title
The
that
title
one?
one at the end, like a prologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and then you get somebody like Jeff to, you know, write the intro or something like that, you know.
Yeah, I got out of it for a while, but I'm just getting back into it, and it has been something that's been kind of swirling through my brain.
It's a good way to go, because then the next step beyond that is you're going to have to go out and do some public reading, which is where you're going to work on your tempo. You're going to be able to go out. You're going to go to the local library, or, you know, I don't know. Are there bookstores still? Borders Books still exist?
Zoom meetings.
Zoom meetings, yeah, meet up.
Right. Yeah, I got to use the restroom. So, you guys,
Yeah,
want to get back? If you're not,
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up in a couple minutes, but we'll wait for you to be.
okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Did you turn John off, or did he?
Oh, I turned him off. He fell asleep.
Yeah, I figured. I texted him, I'm like, did you go pass out? He never answered. I figured he did.
Yeah. So
No. Yeah.
you didn't step in? You didn't try and save me? What's going on?
He was so heartfelt. I was like, well, I don't want to smash him tonight.
I always look at it like this. There's I want to do my best to respect other people's truth. And that's a challenge when their truth is
Contradictory to yours.
what we feel like. Criticism. Staunch criticism about how you fail as a human being.
Especially raising your kids.
In this situation. We're like, you don't know the whole story. I just tell you one part. You don't know how. But you know, whatever. What do you do? Argue it? Listen, I can tell you how many times I've acquiesced to anything she's had to say or responded in 2 years. I promise you, it's less than what you've done with yours. I know for a fact. I know for a fact. Yeah, we're best friends now. If you say that, then you're. You say you're best friends and you interact every day. That just means you replaced your. What's the right word? Try to be mean. What's that called when your sense of well-being is dependent on somebody else?
Codependent.
Oh yeah.
I
That just means you replace your codependent marriage with a codependent friendship.
I got an email from Michelle, the president of our DBSA group. It was about like 30 plus master classes on like codependency and toxic something, I can't remember now. And I was looking at it, and it was free for 7 days. And I was like, even if these are short, but master classes usually aren't like really short. And I was like, 30 of them plus there's no way, I don't have time. So it was usually like $180 value thing for $30. I was like, yeah, okay. So I bought it, and I'm like, now, but it's lifetime I can access these.
Okay.
So I have not checked them out yet, but I'm interested, because I'm trying to remember who it was through. Right there. Avaya, Avaiya.
Yeah, Via, yeah.
Yeah, and it was healing codependency and toxic shame. The toxic shame is the one I was like, oh, that's gonna hurt, but ouch. And it kind of goes with, so with DBSA, I also do, me and another lady, we started the library club, and we meet 3 days a week, and we read through different books on mental illness or therapy, different therapies and different things in the mental health world, and we just started, yesterday was our first day on a new book, and it's Becoming Safely Embodied, a guide to organize your mind, body, and heart to feel secure in the world, by Deidre Fay. And I didn't do a lot. It was recommended, and then my other co-leader was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay, we did OCD last book, which was basically for me. So I was like, okay, it's your pick, basically.
Your turn.
And now it's like a whole thing. It's like there's work in here, and it's not a very big book, but geez, there is some work. And then one of the ladies bought, like, there's 9 principles they teach you, and bought the workbook to teach that they use to teach therapists the 9 principles to teach us. And I'm just like, holy this was supposed to be, so we meet 3 days a week, and we've already marked out our pages. We read 20 pages roughly a day. It's going to take us 3 weeks. And I'm like, this is going to be 3 weeks from hell. Like, this is not what I thought. I mean, we've done 50 things to do when you're depressed, and we've done bipolar, which we didn't do it. We did it before we made the group. Just me and Raquel did it. Amazing book on bipolar. And then we did chatter, the chatter in your head, which was amazing. And then we did the OCD, and I loved it.
The book is called Bipolar?
Huh?
The book is called Bipolar?
No, it is
How's that bipolar book? Well, it's it kind of has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's like you're clipping along at a really good pace, and you're really into it, and all of a sudden it just bogs down. Fucking put you to sleep.
Take charge of bipolar disorder, and it has a workbook. It's like, it has some work in it. It was really amazing. I actually learned a lot. I learned more from that book than I did from my therapist for the last 5 years, or any psychiatrist I've ever seen.
They don't want to give up all their secrets at once.
Right. No. Yeah. So this book is
they gotta
like,
charge you for every session.
You have to be able to ask you rhetorical questions that make you feel like
how
you're
do
a
you
failure,
feel?
and have you come back next time.
Yeah. So this one is about trauma, a lot of trauma work, and we thought it was like, okay, so if I'm in dealing with trauma, what are some things to help me get out of it, is what I honestly thought the book was going to be like.
Okay.
The tips and tricks to get me out of that headspace.
Right.
They want me to dive into my trauma, and then they're going to help me get out of it. I'm like, fuck, oh my God. So we decided,
Just
define
jump
trauma for me.
into the pool first, and then we'll teach you how to swim.
right, exactly.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. And we have probably like 9 to 12 people that come 3 days a week. Like, we have some serious followers with our club, which just started with 2 of us, and I'm still amazed. But we decided we're not doing the work in group. Like, there's no way we could not sit around and listen to all these trauma. So they were like, well, are we gonna? I said, no, we are going to read the
You
questions.
guys are gonna
and
wind up taking on each other's fucking trauma.
yeah, I said, honestly, if I sat here and listened to everybody's trauma story on every one of these questions, I would not come back.
Yeah.
And they just kind of went,
Bad.
wait, what? And I said, no, y'all
No.
don't understand. I would not be coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, see, bipolar people are also empathic, depending on where they're fucking spun on that level. So
Yes.
you don't want them absorbing everybody else's shit. Then they're not gonna know what
Exactly.
their shit is.
Exactly.
They're like, look, my grandpa molested me, and then my uncle, and my aunt, and then my cousin, and then the neighbor down the street, and the mailman. They're like, wait, the mailman was her. You're like, I wasn't the mailman? Fuck. Which one was I? We're not sure. Everyone has the same story. It's now turned into PTSD and DID for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah.
When did my personality split? I don't remember this happening.
That reminds me of it not nearly as severe, but when I had to check everything out about myself as I started down this venture, I started going to codependency meetings to see what that was like. And I got into the codependency and I was like, you guys are all codependent. I'm like, I don't want to be here.
Was it through Coda?
What's that?
Was it through Coda?
What's that?
Code. I don't remember what it stands for.
Coda.
But
Yeah.
Coda,
That's right.
CODA, Coda?
Yeah, it had
They're
a-
like the biggest one out there.
honestly,
the biggest
I
support
went through
group.
like 3 of them, and I was just like, you know what? I don't need to be here.
I've heard
You guys
some
are all
people
I
fucking
did the same
codependent.
thing with AA too. I was like, I went for a lot longer, and I was like, oh my god, like you guys are all really fucked
I'm not
up.
bashing. I'm not bashing Coda. I've never.
I'm like,
been
I know
to-
I'm fucked up, but you guys are really fucked up.
I've never been to a Coda meeting, so I cannot speak from
It was
experience.
Coda. That's
But
exactly.
I have been told by like 3 or 4, now 5, probably different people, don't because
Oh
that's some
yeah.
fucked up shit. Like
Yeah,
it
it was-
makes you
I
more
was just kinda
codependent
like-
when you leave the meeting.
I'm like,
I
what
went
the
to-
hell's wrong with you people? You're not solving anything here.
I did AA for a few months, and there was the 2 things that I realized this was not the thing that I needed at that. It was something I needed at the point where I did it, and then it became not. And one was the whole I judged somebody who was back for their day one, the like 14th time in a month. I was like, okay, I'm starting to lose my cool because I'm like, there's a point where I think you're just addicted to day one. I think you're addicted to just rolling, you being drunk the night before and coming in and asking for forgiveness.
That is a very popular thing.
Right. And I'm like, come on, like you're drunk right now. You're fucking wasted. And you just want people to clap for you.
Oh.
You're addicted to something different. That's the whole thing. Like I'm happy for people who make an effort. I'm happy for people who acknowledge that they can be weak in some areas, imperfect in others. They need help. Like that stuff will make me cry because I know it's really the hardest thing to do as a human being is to say, I'm weak, I'm vulnerable, I need help. That is the hardest thing that we do. At least for men. I promise
Me
you.
too. For
Yeah.
anyone, yeah.
Like I'm weak, I'm vulnerable, I need help. You're like, fuck, like that gets me every time. Now, if you're like, look, I'm currently fucked up. I know I already said 14 times in a row that I was gonna do this, but this is my day one. I'm like, stop clapping for the bitch.
Are you on
Come
the
back on day
Simpsons?
5. Like quit wasting everybody's time. Like you're just addicted to day one. So that's when I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure if I'm the right person for this place because now I'm like, I'm not bringing a positive vibe to this situation. And so I was like, maybe that's something I need to work on. Maybe not be so judgmental. But then, the next day, oh, it's Mary again. She's still wasted and she's still having a fucking day one chip. You have too many chips. Get to a 30 day. How many times have you gotten to 30? Never. No, fuck off then.
Yeah.
Again, I was like, this is my dark heart. And then the next one was when I got to 6 months. And I picked somebody to be my sponsor. I'm like, I picked the program. Nobody asked me to do it. No one forced me to. I said, I'm going to do this myself. So I'm like, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to ask somebody to be my person. And that's a big thing for me.
Oh God, if your story ends up like mine, I'm going to crack up.
So it's like basically this guy, he's a good guy. His name is Brooks. He likes cats. He's been sober for 40 years and he acts like he just got sober last week. You know, I'm like, that's another one thing in my head. I'm like, you're too much of a martyr for 40 years sober. You're 62. You've been sober since you were 22. Shut the fuck up. You didn't struggle. In my head, I'm like, you didn't struggle. You know, be a drug for 20 years and then tell me it's a challenge. You know, literally you've had more time on this earth.
Physical issues that go along with it, health wise.
Right. You've had 2/3 of your life on this fucking planet has been sober. And then you want me to see you as a guru of getting clean? Like, you did a little toot when you were 22. Oh no, shut the fuck up. But anyways, that's another thing when I'm like, I'm looking at your credentials, and your credentials are you didn't struggle. And I'm not saying not. I don't need everybody to be on my level of struggle. I just need you to have a certain level of decorum and perspective about your level of struggle if you're trying to teach me a lesson. So you could teach me a lesson. Let's not bring up time frames. That's cool. Teach me a lesson. I could learn. Don't tell me that you're teaching me this lesson because how hard your struggle was. Just tell me that it was a struggle. I'm cool with that. We all struggle differently. He tells me because it was my 6 month, and I was going to get my 6 month chip digitally because I was online because it was in the middle of COVID. And apparently, I was too proud of my 6 month sobriety. I hadn't had 6 months fucking sober since I was like 19 years old. So this was a thing. This was an event. And I didn't feel like I was cocky. I was just like, hi, my name is Jeffrey Adams. Jeffrey, I'm an alcoholic. Today I'm 6 months sober, and I'm very grateful that I can say that out loud. And I'm very honored to be able to say that in front of you guys. People clap, thank you. And it felt good. That's nice. Hadn't said anything since 90 days. I had been excited for 90 more days to actually say that because I was looking at the milestone and I was focused on that. And I had my mantras and my goals. I set goals for the first time in fucking years. I wouldn't actually be doing the work I'm doing now if I hadn't done that because I set goals. They're still on my wall. Goals, relationship goals, personal goals, professional goals. So this was the thing. I meet with him later to go, it's the second time we meet, to go over some stuff in the workbook that I got. And he says, Jeffrey, he sends me this message after our meeting. He says, Jeffrey, remember that humility is the golden thread that ties all of this together. Be humble. And I was like, what the fuck did he just send me that for? Humility is the golden thread that ties us all together. I'm like, where am I lacking humility? I admitted I had a problem. Yeah, that's not easy. I fucking went cold turkey. That's not easy. I didn't ask for help. I didn't even count my sobriety until I fucking started there, which was like 2 months after I was sober. I was like, I'll start that when I start with them. Track my progress, did the work. I was in it to win it. I was feeling like, yes. And did I smile too much on the day that I hit my 6 months? Was I too excited? Maybe I was too excited. I'm like, that's it. Because he's like I picked somebody who was introvert on purpose. I picked somebody who was the opposite of me because I wanted to have that influence. I don't want someone to do things the way I think exactly. I picked him for that reason. I picked him because I picked him because I felt judged. I felt like he judged everybody, which is why I picked him. It's true. But I'm like, give me the guy who judges everybody. But then I thought, you just offended me in a way that I can't digest. Like, you're the 40-year representative of this organization. And because I feel pride, and I understand pride's a sin, depending on where you're from, right? I feel pride because I hit a milestone and I want to celebrate it. I want to tell people about it in my group. And then you tell me I need more humility, which means your extroversion irritates me. And I was like, also waving flags. I just said, I'm excited. God forbid that I smile and I bring joy to a group. In that moment, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. That's it. No need to light him up. No need to tell him, go fuck yourself. Just like it was interesting because it deflated the balloon and it felt like a loss. I felt like all of a sudden I felt like it was mourning something because I put something concrete in my life that every morning before I went to work, I get on the Zoom call and I fucking check in and we do the thing. We say the prayer and we, read the quotes. And it's just like church. It's just a church.
Grant me the
right. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference.
Or the wisdom to hide the bodies of those that piss me off.
That's right.
That's my serenity prayer.
And it was nuts how, and this happened. Like, I remember I had a doctor who was like, you need to lose weight, you need to do this, you know that. Okay, cool. And very serious about it. I'm like, I'll take it seriously too. He's like, take it seriously. I am serious. And then I remember I lost like 6 weeks later, I lost like 22 pounds. Something like that. Go back, check in, get on the scale. He's like, oh, so you lost 22 pounds. You're still morbidly obese.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah. And I was like, I didn't think I was going to change my body mass index to a 26 because it was 20 pounds. Like, oh, and then he goes, well, what are you doing? I said, well, I've been protein, vegetables, eliminated sugar and bullshit, starches and whatnot. Just try to eat a little cleaner. You can kill it or you can kill it, then I eat it, basically. And then he's like, yeah, that's not sustainable. And I'm like, what the fuck? And this is this dude who was like, listen, this is what my wife and I would do. And people like that just destroy you. He goes, this is what my wife and I do. Like, we still like to go to the Burger King, if you know what I mean. But I'll get the junior cheeseburger, and then she'll get a junior cheeseburger, and then sometimes we split the fries, small fries.
What?
Other times we'll just replace it with a side salad.
This guy's a doctor.
Yeah, he's a doctor. Dr. Headley. Go fuck yourself.
That's incredible.
I'm sure he's dead by now.
My doctor would kick your doctor's ass.
And, he's like, and I'm looking, I'm like, have you ever been fat, Dr. Headley? Well, I've always eaten sensibly. I'm like, I know you eat sensibly. You eat a junior cheeseburger and you split a salad or you put a French fry up your ass with your wife. You have a method. But you tell me that I'm not sustainable because I'm not eating sugar. Like, I'm not sustainable.
Yeah, something.
And I'm like,
doesn't equate there.
I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about because you don't get it. I understand caloric deficit is important, right? Less in, more out. I get that, but I just lost 22 pounds. I've been working my ass off, and I come in and you're like, man, not sustainable. I said immediately. That pleasure reward just shuts off. Yeah. And I'm like, I stopped immediately. I'm like, fuck you. I went to Burger King and I got the fucking extra super Whopper
3-layered Whopper
with a 4,000 calorie burger,
fries and onion rings and that zesty sauce that I love.
Yeah, 9,000 calories. They suck my dick. Because this feels better than what you did to me when I was in that fucking room, going like, yeah, I don't recognize your progress because it's fake.
I wish I had the picture for you because my doctor, I'm part of what they call a VIP clinic. So VIP is a really cool word, you know. I'm a very important person, obviously.
Oh, I thought it was very interesting penis.
Well, you've seen it, so
Oh,
no, that's not
that
true.
works. That's cool.
But you walk into my doctor's office, and I will admit I can't condone this completely, but he has a fridge, number one. I'm going to start there. And he's got bottled water, you know, Dr. Peppers, because it's Texas, and Shiner Bock beer. And then you go over here, and
You
he's
got
got a
beer in the
little
fridge?
cart, and he's got whiskey and vodka and rum. And I've never partaken of any of the alcohol while I'm there, usually because I'm there too early.
Moving
in
to
the
New
day.
Brunswick.
Well, exactly. And it's, hey, you want to have a drink? Have a drink. That, and he's a doctor. And then when I walked in, I saw that, I was like, I'm like, what in the world? And like I started taking pictures of it. You know? I like sent it to my girlfriend, and she's like,
"Am I on candid camera?
Your doctor's a dumbass." I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking he's got it figured out. Come in, and he's just, you know, he's casual. And then to make everything better, there was a Hammer guitar in the corner and a Fender amplifier. And I was like, oh, I'm home. I'm like, this is my doctor. I don't care about the booze. The guy's got a guitar sitting in his office. And he's been really cool. But yeah, I can't condone the alcohol thing. That was kind of like, wow, man. Really? But that's part of the VIP thing. And he's super cheap.
How
It's
does he get his money?
$20 a month, and I can go see him as many times as I want to.
120 a month?
Yeah.
Where does he get his money from? Who subsidizes him?
What's that?
How is he subsidized? Where does he get paid from? The state? Like he's got to be charging.
No, he's old school doctor stuff.
Medicare, Medicaid, like
nope. And I know you know all about this stuff, but he's not.
Oh, these VIPs are popping up, and they're not like that. It's a monthly thing. You pay every single month, even when you don't see them. And they do a lot of your things like x-rays, labs. A lot of their testing is done in-house. It's all included. It's becoming a big thing because insurances are becoming so crappy that doctors are getting fed up to the point where they're like, I want to provide the services to my patients that I want to provide, and this is the minimum amount that I need.
Yeah.
And so we'll break it up monthly. You pay me every single month, regardless if you don't see me all year or you see me every week. It doesn't matter. Like
you pay like it's insurance.
Well,
but yeah, they know what that write-off process.
Because of my most recent problems, you know, where I think I told you
ED, chronic diarrhea, C. diff. Yeah.
But, you know, I almost lost my leg.
Oh, infection.
Yeah. But I shoot him pictures. We text message. I go in. Everything's taken care of.
That's awesome.
And yeah, blood work. He does send me to a place, and then I don't get billed. He takes the bill for it. I mean, I don't even know how he's making fucking money doing it, but he's got just enough people. He's doing it, and
because it's all
because it's behind the scenes.
I know the structure.
Right, and the insurance companies don't have hundreds of people with call centers and, you know, agents and blah 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 to pay.
Yep.
These doctors that some of them are individuals, most of them are like in an institute, so they have a conglomerate of doctors, however many's in their building, in their practice, and they're just doing it themselves, so they're not having to pay all this outside crap that, you know, is raising the prices.
When I started with him in the beginning of the year, he was a one-man shop. He now has been able to hire on a nurse because he knew he needed it. He was getting to that point, and he's just been running with it. And he was so open. Like, I mean, I'm thrilled. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was getting for my money, and the fact that he was so open. And I was just like, how many clients do you have? Here's one for you. Okay, so I'm $120 a month. in order to put my daughter on is an extra $24 a month.
Because the chances of her going
24.
very unlikely. Yeah.
She gets more shit done than I do, because she goes in and gets her Depo-Provera shot, because I don't want to be a grandpa,
It was
And
like
now,
a
yeah, we
reminder.
gotta pay for the medicine, and he's always conscious about what everything costs. He's like, no, man. He's like, here's the cheapest one, So
Yeah, between GoodRx and like all these GoodRx is amazing.
Yeah.
Like amazing. I remember when I was we were between insurance companies because of, thank God for Obama. And I lost, my Cadillac coverage. So we wound up going on to, I guess, shitty United Healthcare after that. And then Lisa switches over to whoever the fuck she had in her Uber at the time, I think, which was not a good idea, but it was cheaper at the time. And then we wound up without insurance for a while. I was like, great, we're going to get a $3,500 fine. Yay. But I remember negotiating cash pay with any of the doctors, and the kids were all like school age, and they were or coming to school age at least at this time. So everyone was up for like booster shots and fucking like there was so much going on with the kids pediatric wise. I forget the name of their doctor, the pediatrician, but she had an ass like a 10-year-old boy. I'll tell you that. It's one day fucking bite it. Anyways, the pediatrician negotiating.
You lost me there for a second.
Negotiating cash price. I was shocked. I had looked it up when I read about it, and I was like, "Hey, listen, doctor. We're in between insurance right now, so I'd like to negotiate cash price for the services today." She's like, "Oh, okay." And then I was expecting like annoyance, but she was like, "Oh, like you could tell, like I don't have to go through the insurance bullshit."
Yeah, they're actually gonna get their money.
Right. And I was like, this is weird because I've been an insurance agent for 20 years, so I know the shit they have to go through to get fucking paid. So she was like, yeah, so usually it'd be like X and that. Okay, so I've got 3 kids and I've got boosters and then the office visit. And I was expecting like office visits were like $60, $20 a kid. At least, right? And then whatever fucking medicine I had to fucking take home with me. And she was like, $123 for everything.
Wow.
I was like, what? That I pay $780 a month for their insurance when it's active. $780. They don't ever have to get boosted again until they invent this thing called COVID, and then you'll have to do that make believe shit later on. But at that time, it was like
you know where I stand with that.
This was a big moment. I'm like, this is a lot going on with the kids. They all got 3 shots. I said $123. She's like, yeah, cash price out the door. She's like, yeah, I'll tell you what, $120 if you don't pay with a credit card. I was like, well, fuck yeah. Okay.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, and
Yep.
by the way, I like
Do you
your
accept
ass.
buns?
I was like, that ass. I can't handle it. I love you. I love you. Will you
A lot
marry
of
me?
doctor's office will even do sliding scales now, based on your income.
He gives a slide.
You do so less income, less payment, obviously, but a lot of doctor's offices do that too. For cash pay.
I
Because
work
it's
so
so
hard.
much easier than having to do everything, all the hoops they have to jump through for the insurance.
I used to work for my buddy John, he took over for Dr. Headley when Headley retired. That's how I met him. And then we became friends. And then he was still my doctor. And then I got divorced and lived with him for a year, and then we became not friends. That's what happens when you live with somebody. But John, he would be exasperated all the time because he would get paychecks, and I remember he'd get like, every 2 weeks he'd get like $7,000, $10,000, $12,000 paycheck, and this was just doing primary care, just seeing people in the office. When he was doing bariatrics, he was getting $25,000 paychecks. So he was like, what is this garbage paycheck? And I'm like, dude, you're just doing, you're a GP, dude. You're just doing like head colds and, turn your head and cough shit. Like, what sort of money did you expect? Yeah, like it's, oh no, I'm only making $250,000 a year. Before I was making $1 million. I said, how you spent all the other money? Yeah, he's like, yeah, okay, just checking. It's not buried somewhere. No. Okay. You're not a specialist anymore. So he asked me to look at his medical billing, and he's like, I feel like someone's like, I'm getting screwed over between here, because he didn't have his own office, between me, the doctor who runs the place, and then billing. I feel like something's off. My checks get smaller and smaller and smaller. And sure enough, I'm watching them smaller and smaller. I'm like, you got a $2,600 paycheck? What the fuck is that?
Something ain't right.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you got alimony and child support, you're coughing up. Like, what the fuck is going on here? You better pay your bills, because I can't afford her bills and your bills too. But so I dig into his medical billing, and I start going through codes and learning the coding and figuring out like what paid what percentages, how long it took, what was the average, what was the turnaround time, how many times did you have to resubmit, when you had the best outcome on first submission. I did a lot of research for him. I'm like, the least I can do, you gave me free rent for 6 months, like, the least I can do is I can solve this shit for you. He's like, I don't know how you even have a brain for this stuff. I'm like, me neither, but I do. We'll figure it out. So I finally came out with
Rio Seco, baby.
That's right. The Rio Seco geniuses. So I came out with a plan. I was like, okay, so here's the basics. If your best bet is to code everything as a 45, nothing can be above a 45-minute visit, period, because it doesn't pay, because they question why you have a 60-minute visit. You'd only have a 60-minute visit if it was a new patient with a procedure attached. I said, your problem is you talk too much, just like me. And you think that is billable, but your talking is not billable. Only the code that represents what you're meeting for, and then the outcome, and then the procedure you did. I said, so if you do a procedure, you have to include either instruments involved or medicine involved, because otherwise there's no procedure. So do you see where we're going? You see where I'm going? So the more time you spend, you have to have a procedure, and the procedure code has to have an implementation device or medicine. So if you're going to lance somebody's boil, then there needs to be the lancet, that's the alcohol, the whatever, the procedure, which is the lancing of the boil. You have to show that chain of events. If you can't show the chain of events, you just say 60 minutes boil. It's not, you're not getting
so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous, because what that does is that puts him in a position where, in order for him to actually make a living, he now has to try to push things like that.
Right. Well,
and whether the person needs it or not, he needs it in order to actually, get paid for his time and services.
It either forces. So here's the thing: all the medical billing is based on a Medicare foundation. Okay, so Medicare is the baseline for all medical billing. So Medicare says we will pay a maximum of this amount for this thing, no matter what. Period. That's it. There's no negotiation. So it sets that baseline. And then of those procedures,
you write it to the max, right?
Outside of Medicare. So that's what they do, right? So everyone who has Medicare patients, they bill it at 100%, because they know that the max they're going to get is 100%. So when they're billing insurance companies, they will bill the insurance companies at 100% of payout, but they don't have the procedures to back up the fact that they would request for that much money. So the government makes it so the insurance companies are trying to battle not getting fucked, because it's easy when you're the government. You just go, look, You have arthritis, we pay $200 for arthritis. That's it. So then they're like, okay, bill $200. They're not going to bill less. And the government doesn't negotiate. They just go, well, that's your max, we'll pay it. So then everything else that comes through a private company, they're like immediately wired to say $200 plus. And they start using that Medicare max as the minimum to bill insurance companies. Insurance companies are like, no, that procedure is not a $750 procedure. It took 5 minutes. You're out of your fucking mind. We will pay it because they use computer assisted underwriting models that say if, and that's what I was looking at for him, which is, I said, your goal is to have your billing go through without a human intervening. I can show you where you get kicked back. You get kicked back when you have the wrong second and tertiary codes attached to your primary thing. It kicks it back because it goes, it's looking for logical function. 1 + 1 is 2. I said, he's like, how am I going to remember all this stuff? He goes, they don't make us take business classes and logic classes when we take medical school. He goes, this is fucking crazy. He goes, how do you know these things? I'm like, I'm a savant. I'm literally learning as I go, but most people aren't like me. So it's okay. Don't be mad at yourself. I'm weird. But here's the logic. So I said, I'll just make you a chart. These are your billing codes. They start here. Here's
Jeff
5
Adams,
base.
I'm special. I wear
Special, right? I said, here's your 5 base, here's your 10, and then here's your 20. Like they can go up that way. Just think of it like you're ordering like a Happy Meal or something. You just can't throw a steak into a fucking cheeseburger Happy Meal, okay? You keep throwing steaks, they keep
put the
saying
French fry up your butt, right? Because didn't the doctor say that worked?
totally acceptable. Dr. Headley, listen, the wife and I, we split the fries, maybe we get a side salad. Go fuck yourself, Headley.
You gotta split them.
The guy who gave my wife who was in a car accident with Hannah, I think it was Hannah. Yeah, car wreck, premature birth, baby was born dead, all sorts of trauma. It was great. Gave Lisa 240 Vicodin at a time.
What?
240 Vicodin at a time. The same doctor who told me I was too fat, split the fucking side salad, gave Lisa 240 Vicodin at a time. Vicodin, he called it. It's Vicodin. It's not even addictive. Look, I'm gonna give you. This was 15 years ago, so they were still Pfizer had them lie. But I'm like, seriously, I remember telling John, I'm like, 240 Vicodin. Do you know how long it took me to get through those for her?
Why would you need 240 of anything? I mean, that is just...
so look, they're 10 milligrams. This is the dickhead times. They're called Vicodin. Okay, it's 10 milligrams with 240.
Should only ever got 180 at a time.
I don't know. So so if you take 1 to 2 every 4 to 6 hours, then you round down to 4 if that's your minimum. So okay, so 2 every 4 hours. And then in a 24-hour period, that can be how many?
So okay,
2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2.
What I'm
and
figuring out is
30-day supply, and then you're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
He's gonna kick back.
They gave me 2 bags at a time at Walmart. Here you go, sir. Here you go, sir. You wonder why the epidemic started. I was like, yay, one for me and one
you
for
went
her.
to Walmart? Because that's dangerous, man. I'm lucky. You're even lucky you got out of there alive with that.
This is back in the day before they
I played with a
time safe
drummer
on
who
their
had
marks. They were just like, yeah.
Like it in habit. I
was like,
didn't realize it.
Can I get a sample? They're like, sure. How many do you want? 4. That's why I'm waiting.
Hey, I need to it's 2:44 my time. So
Yeah.
I gotta wrap up
I'm
here.
done.
You said we were gonna wrap up, but
I don't know what happened to you.
then you just kept talking and kept talking and kept talking. I thought I was listening to myself for a while there. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, thank you,
It was
gentlemen.
good. It was good.
Had a good night.
Hey, love one another and love yourself.
Absolutely.
Oh,
See you next time.
I love myself whenever I can.
Escape, Mama Fox. Escape. Pull the
I
chute.
am. Bye.
I love myself and I want you to love me. Give myself. I don't know the lyrics to the song, but I remember the video.
She's
She
dead.
was so hot.
The Divinals.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I don't want anybody else.
else. When I
When I
think
think
about
about
you,
you, I touch myself. Oh.
Oh my God! Please take us offline. I hope I didn't come down on you too hard tonight, buddy.
Oh no, you go down on me all the time. What? Hey, no, let's get together if my creative output could support your creative output, I would.
Oh yeah, I was serious about that.
I'd love to do it.
Maybe we can do something. I don't
I can put this stuff together and have it processing while I'm doing other things, and that's what I got. That's why I did that last piece. I wanted something more complicated, but I did it while I was working. It was just a 15-minute, thing, but I'm like,
I like the one with the water.
the water, yeah,
That's
water.
That's more my vibe.
Yeah, that fits your vibe totally.
Yeah, and that's
I can do endless amounts of whatever you pick it. Water.
the other one was kind of like, oh no, who's the white guy with his face all painted with the rose in his mouth? And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah. The whole sugar skull thing was it was purely concept. I just wanted to see if I could make a imaginary narrative with no dialogue.
well, and you kept skipping through it, so I'm not even sure that I got the whole thing. Like you were fast forwarding, but
I didn't even have a story. I just had pictures. I didn't create something to compare it to. I was just hoping like visually and auditorily it would fit. And I felt like it fit okay. The other ones though that are scenery based, and the one with the smoke and the either smoke or the paint and water,
yeah, I like
like
that.
geometric stuff, they're very cool. There's a lot of stuff like that.
A little more abstract. I like that.
Yeah.
Where did you and I didn't ask before, but where did you get the music for like
Same Pexels, I believe it was Pexels.
Okay,
If not,
it wasn't your music. Okay, that's what I was.
No, if you know somebody who's a musical artist, I can put together some,
Yeah, I don't really know anybody who like plays guitar.
Yeah.
Or anything.
I could do endless visual vibes to somebody else's music. So
We'll hook it up, man. We'll put it together.
cool.
Oh God, I stayed up way too late. I knew I should have went on this show. I always tell myself don't do it, and then I do it.
Well, I appreciate it.
That's where we end up. Well, I appreciate it too.
It was good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, always good to see you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I make this shirt work, man.
I was just outside a bar stove with a drug.
When the mescaline kicked in.
Yeah, there you go.
It's backcountry.
Backcountry. Oh no. Oh no. I love that so much.
You know what? I posted that one time years ago, like the exact dialogue. And then my dad was like, what is that? You're talking about all these drugs and things. What are you talking about? That was when I was just, goofing around on Facebook, which I kind of got back to today, but I'm just kind of like, you know what? It's time to scare you all again. To me, it's funny. To them, it's not. And hey, what do I got to lose?
If it was not funny to them, then you're hitting the
it's
right
worth
nerve.
it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I just have to remember not to scare my daughter. I scared her a couple times, so. But she knows now. Daddy with guns and pictures doesn't mean anything. I'm like, hey, look.
Daddy with guns and pictures.
There was no mags in there. The guns are unloaded completely.
Oh, the Colt 1911s.
No, well, that was most current. I had one before that I had to pull because I had somebody do a wellness check on me after that one. I was like,
that's the best.
There's nothing like waking up in your bed to your wife and your daughter, or your ex-wife and your daughter, and they shouldn't even be there. You're like, what?
How'd you get in my house?
They're like, you posted this on Facebook. I'm like, that was a joke, guys. What? like nobody got that except me.
Like, oh no.
I learned my lesson there.
Whoops.
And the person who called it in only lives about 10 minutes away, but didn't drive over to find out, just decided they'd call it in. Yay.
Yeah. Shit.
So, I can tell you at a later note who it was, but not publicly.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, man.
All right, buddy. Love you, man.
Catching up. Figure out how to get out of here. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Be well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, I still love that fucking squirrely guy. The little, what's his name? Chris Spade. David Spade. David Spade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know what always cracks me up about all those Saturday Night Live skits is it's always the ones that there's like no story, there's no character development, there's nothing. It's kind of like, you know, hello? Oh, you're that pesky shark, aren't you? Nope, just a dolphin, ma'am.
Land shark. Land shark.
Candygram.
Candygram.
You know, things like that. It's just so simple, you know, cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. And somehow they stick and bye-bye, you know, there it is. Again, it just sticks.
I think it's like good humor is not necessarily good the moment it's delivered. And I tell my kids, look, if you're gonna tell a joke and you're not sure if it's a great joke, make it a great joke. Just own it all the way through. Sometimes you're gonna have to repeat the punchline 5 times, and they'll laugh. And it might just be because it's really awkward, and they just want you to stop giving the punchline. But it doesn't matter. You got the laugh. Just go. Just own it. Just own it all the way through, and eventually you'll win. Trust me.
Well, and I am a huge fan of comedy, obviously, but I love the idea that there is a tempo
Bye-bye.
that these people hit.
Yep.
And there is also a pitch. It's very musical.
Yes.
You know, so they hit certain notes like as they say things.
Correct.
And they think it out way ahead of time. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
It's practice.
wow, this is why I cannot be a comedian.
Think about it. It's setup, it's punch, and then tag. It's like,
yeah,
you gotta come at it like you have to get them like, here's a story, punch, and they're like, holy shit. And you're like, yeah, tag. Like, oh my god, and now for the rest of your storytelling time, you only have to hit the tag, and they're gonna remember that laugh.
Disappointed at one point when I was really getting into Bert Kistner.
Bert Kreischer.
Kreischer, yeah. I never get the last name.
I love him.
And he's the only guy, he's the only comedian I've ever actually went. I bought 4 tickets.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, oh yeah, right there.
My kids are like, Dad, that's you. Dad, that's you. Like, except he's famous and you're not. I'm like, what?
Somehow he made it work.
Yeah.
But he was so natural, and again, I never know exactly how true the story is of whether or not the machine actually blew up that way or whatever, but it's brilliant. And my buddy, who I bought a ticket for, who was, you know, this is when I was still married and we went as a couple. And he's like, oh yeah, he'll do the machine at the end. Because he's been to comedy things. I had never been to one. And I was like, oh no, why would he do that? And he's like, that's like his free birth. That's his stairway to
Yes.
heaven. He's like, he has
Joe
to do
Rogan
it.
made him do it. I was watching the fucking Joe Rogan like 10 years ago when Bert told the story on Joe Rogan. Joe was cracking the fuck up and he's like, why? Like, is that one of your bits? He's like, no, like, no, I could never tell that story. He's like, you have to. He's like, what? He's like, you fucking have to. Do you understand? Like the difference between like eternity as a comedy god and not is the fact that that is a true story. That's your story. And he goes, I'm observational. I do this, I do that. He's like, that story. He's like, you're a storyteller, Bert. You fucking go tell that story and your life will change. And no shit. And it comes up every now and then. And he's like, Joe told me to fucking tell the machine story.
Yeah, I have to do it. Yeah.
It's amazing, right? And so I can do it between how long does it take between,
This is
I can do it as little
Russia.
as 12 minutes and as long as 32.
What's one more time?
He can tell the machine story in as little as 12 minutes. He goes 12 to 14 minutes is probably my fastest version, and then like 32 minutes is my longest. Like I can, and he goes, they're like, do you even notice that you're telling it anymore? He goes, no. I've told it thousands of times that he goes, I think I'm detached from it.
And that was my disappointment with him, because he was so natural that once I kind of started going deep on him, I started watching all these YouTube clips, and he's got like a bear story, and it's hysterical. It's fantastic. It's as good as the machine story, because it's true. Because it's
where he had Leanne, he was dating Leanne,
yeah,
and the fucking bear was like taking marshmallows out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And then fucking decided to fucking squish him.
But the thing is I watched him do it twice and then like 3 times, and everywhere that because his thing is like, I laugh and people always give me a hard time because I laugh at my own stuff. Every laugh was the same. Every way he pronounced a word was the same. I mean, you could have lined these 3 videos up and it would have played like they were just in sync.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, oh, that's kind of disappointing. I thought he was just telling a story, but
right.
No, this guy is actually a professional.
He's right. It's rehearsed.
And I got over it, of course, but I was just like,
that's lifting the veil right there.
Yeah. I
didn't want to see how it works.
I looked a little too far, I got to see who Oz was for a minute, and I was like, you never want to know the magician's trick, It's really more fun to watch him cut the girl in half or make something levitate than when you find out how easy it was for him to do it,
Right. They filmed a movie probably a year ago. They filmed The Machine. He lost a bunch of weight and they went to Serbia and they filmed the movie of that story. It just hasn't come out yet. They're just trying to determine when to launch it. So Bert stars as Bert as the fucking machine in The Machine. And sure enough, it's going to be fucking released.
Oh my gosh. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
And we're just robbing my schoolmates.
And you know where he came from? Van Wilder with Ryan Reynolds was based on Sports Illustrated optioning his life story while he was in college. That was Bert Kreischer as Van Wilder.
Really?
Yes. Sports Illustrated went to whatever, Tampa University or whatever, wherever the fuck he was. He had been there for 7 years. It was no joke. It was like the same fucking joke as Van Wilder. He'd been there for so long that he should have had a fucking doctorate.
Well, yeah, because he took forever.
He took forever. Well, Sports Illustrated goes there to do a hit piece on the party college, because they were ranking the party colleges across the U.S. They get there, and then Bert is the goddamn representative. Basically, he's like, "Hey, he's a college student who is just out of his mind," and they're like, they wound up just following him. They're like, fuck the school. This guy is fascinating. So they follow Bert around and they do a whole fucking like 30 pages on Bert, up to even including when he was running for president of student council. And
Which
they
is
come-
what happened in Belmont.
right. Well, they come out and like
I
whatever.
love
So
Ryan Reynolds. So
they give someone gives their speech and then he comes out and he shits in a pizza box on stage. That was his speech. Bert Kreischer literally opened up a pizza box, took a dump in it, closed it. Everybody clapped. He won. That was his fucking political speech.
wow.
That was all documented in Sports
I
Illustrated.
want to see that, but that's pretty.
They don't show. I don't think they show it, but they write. They tell the story. Sports Illustrated is like, yeah, he pooped in a pizza box on stage, and everyone went wild.
See now, I also heard
Wild.
that Rolling Stone saw they were up there doing.
Must have been Rolling Stone, not Sports Illustrated. My bad. Rolling
Yeah.
Stone.
Okay. All
It was
right.
Rolling Stone. You're right.
And see, I always related with that because going back and talking about Eddie Yancey, I don't know if you know this or not, but Eddie went snowboarding once up in Big Bear. And because Eddie is such a fucking good looking dude, you know, and you know, basically looks like what you think a California snowboarder should look like.
Right.
Rolling Stone was up there, and whoever they were supposed to interview didn't show up. So they just looked around and they saw him. And they went over and they said, hey, can we interview you for Rolling Stone magazine? And if you let us do the interview, we will pay for your lodging and everything. And of course, he's like, sure.
Right.
And that's how he got in fucking Rolling Stone magazine the first time. Or, well,
I didn't know
he.
he. I didn't know he was in Rolling Stone.
Yeah, yeah. That's how it happened. They wanted to do an interview with him.
He was just up there doing his thing.
Yeah, he's just there to snowboard, but he just looks so fucking cool. They're like, we gotta get pictures and we gotta do this shit. And he's like, okay,
That's crazy.
isn't it? I mean,
That's
guys
crazy.
like you and me, it doesn't happen.
No.
We're too ugly.
Too ugly. Yep. Not natural.
Nope.
And even if we were charming, we would be obnoxious.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite stories with him. I was just like, are you kidding me? You know, but we had all kinds of serendipitous moments where like my car broke down one time on the side of the fucking road. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And who comes pulling up? It's him. He's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, my car just broke down. He's like, oh, get in. I'm going to work. He's going to the mall.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I am a big Eddie Yancey fan, definitely.
I am the walrus.
I am the walrus. That's right.
YouTube. All right. Well, I have to be up in 3.5 hours for work, so I should probably consider going to bed. Hey,
It's now 3:04.
you ever use these? They are bone induction headphones.
I don't know what bone induction means.
Well, instead of having earbuds, they have these vibrating pads. They come on. They go on this part of your ear externally. They do not go in your ear, but through the vibration, it transmits the sound. You can still hear everything around you. Doesn't change, and nobody can hear that sound coming out of there because it's a vibration against the bone in your ear.
How's the quality as far as, I mean, is it for music or just talking?
Not as good for talking. It has a mic on it, but it's hard to pick up. It's not awful. I mean, you can, if you're like in a car or something, you can use it. You just have to speak up. So it's not for like subtle. You can't be like, "Hey, how's it going?" You hi. You have to kind of a normal level, but they're great.
Musically?
You're not getting Bose quality sound, but you're getting it's for the fact that it's not in your ear and you can hear what's going on around you.
Yeah, yeah.
Them being and they're waterproof on top of that, and you can people like bikers and people riding bikes and jogging and whatnot will use them because it gives them full control of their surroundings and still be able to hear the music. It's good.
Huh. You're like a week late from saving me a bunch of money because I just bought my daughter some of the earbuds or whatever they're
Yeah.
called. Because
All of the, I've had the Samsung, I've had earbuds, I've had all the versions of Bluetooth ones. Whatever. They all have limitations. My two favorite.
how much are those? What do those cost?
Anywhere between $40 and $120.
Okay.
So these
My
and
my earbud pros or whatever that I paid $250 for,
right.
that one crapped out on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, man. I haven't even had them a year.
And these things they're made out of titanium. So they're stretchy and whatnot, but they're not gonna break. And I think I even got whatever generic version, look on Amazon, just look for ratings, same technology. And good for people who have hearing aids or good for old people. Like old people who like to listen to music and whatnot, but they have a hard time hearing otherwise. These are perfect because they can hear, but it doesn't close off your ability to hear anything else, which is a really kind of cool part. So I'm not sponsored, but I like these. The other ones I like are the I have the monitor. You see people on television, radio, they'll have like the cord behind their back. They'll have like the little things flopping out, and then they put them up and they're flush inside their ear. They sell those on Amazon also. Those are literally the best headphones I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Ever. And I've got a pair floating around here because I use them daily. Maybe I paid $30 for them because it has the inline mic. $30. Absolutely the best. It's got the adjustable, earpieces that you can take off depending on how big your ear holes are.
And they're Bluetooth.
They're not Bluetooth, no. They're direct wire.
There's a cable. Okay.
Yeah, they're direct wire, which again I'm fine with. But I also have a Bluetooth like dongle converter that you can clip in your pocket. That's like that big. So if you don't want to have a direct line because of the way you move, you can absolutely keep them separate.
Right.
But, just look for in-ear monitors instead of earbuds, or look for monitors. And they're curved and built in such a way to go flush inside your ear from the back. So up over the top and in your ear. They are, I wouldn't say they're underrated. They're just not marketed because they're not. It's like if you think about what do the professionals use when they want to hear right, that's what I look for. I'm like,
yeah,
what do the pros use?
I know what you mean. And the thing is, if they're $30, then they don't have the marketing budget to go out and.
They're like straight from China. They come in a box with like Chinese writing on them, like whatever's little box. Boop. But and on top of that, the cords will be either braided, like the rubber, or they'll have like a metal braid, so they don't get, you can roll over them and whatnot, and they're pretty indestructible. And on top of that, the wire will pull out of the actual earpiece. You disconnect it, and you can get a different wire if you want a different look.
Really? Okay.
Pretty handy. So look for monitors.
Cool, man. All right, I'm gonna let you go because one of us has to say goodbye, otherwise we never will.
Good night, my friend.